The opinions and views expressed in the following program are those of the speakers and the host, and do not necessarily reflect those of Yoakley Scott Corporation and your sports network.
Yeah, I've been closer to Jesus before, so can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Can you help me out? I've been scared to look in my soul. I've been afraid I would follow alone. Yeah, afraid of the things I've been told.
Greetings and salutations, and welcome into a Friday edition of Running Points presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. There it is, my Yeti Cup. Man, this thing is really cool. Literally, it's really cool. If you have a new car or a slightly used car on your mind and you're able to afford it, get yourself on down to Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. I've been saying it for months. They have a great sales department, a great service department, and a great finance department. Add all three of them up, and you get the best dealership to do business with. So before you make your final decision, and it is a great decision, it's financially a huge decision to make, before you make that final decision, you owe it to yourself to go to Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. All right, lots of stuff to do on this Friday in the Valley. We're with you till 3 o'clock, at which time we'll have Power Hour. And DJ's down in Alabama. The Penguins open up their 2021 college baseball season as they take on Troy from the Sun Belt Conference. It's going to be a chilly night in Troy, Alabama. I can promise you that. The temps will be somewhere in the mid to upper 30s tonight. I don't know if it's going to be that cold game time, but by the end of the night, it'll probably be in the upper 30s. Youngstown State taking on Troy. The weather forecast is much, much, much better for the weekend as Troy, Alabama. The last I saw, the temps were going to be in the upper 50s and low 60s. I'm going to take a look at the forecast right now. We are looking at a low tonight of 27 degrees. And at game time, about 7 o'clock tonight, they're calling for the temperature to be at 42 at game time. 42 degrees at game time. And the temp should be dropping into the mid-30s by the end of the game. You're going to have a high of 59 on Saturday and a high of 63 on Sunday. Plenty of sunshine. So there will be no rain whatsoever. And the Penguins should be able to get all four of their games in, albeit it will be a very, very chilly evening down in the southern part of Alabama as YSU takes on Troy this evening at 7 o'clock. You can hear that game on ysnlive.com. DJ will be there. He is there, and we'll have that game for you. Coming up tonight on the network, at 7 o'clock, WRS Wealth Advisors presenting Open Look. Mike Ackelson and the fellas will be in studio, and they'll be taking a look at an awful lot of games. 6:45 this evening, Struthers will be home to McDonald. McDonald headed to the field house to take on the Struthers Wildcats. 7 o'clock tonight, West Branch is at Austintown Fitch. Champion will visit Crestview. Wellsville is at East Palestine. Poland is at Girard. Lakeview at Hubbard. Jackson Milton journeys to Lisbon. Sebring is at Lowellville. Salem will travel to Hanoverton to take on United. Boardman is at Ursuline. Springfield is at Waterloo. And as we mentioned, college baseball tonight from Troy, Alabama. Youngstown State is at Troy. DJ with the call from Troy, Alabama. Congratulations to the East Palestine Bulldogs. They won the EOAC all by their lonesome last night with a 65-47 victory over the Columbiana Clippers. The East Palestine girls win the EOAC outright. Congratulations to them. Congratulations to Canfield. They're the sectional champs, and they move on to district play in girls basketball. They go into Massillon and upset Massillon Perry last night, 51-36. Congratulations to the Lady Cardinals. All right, let's go to the phone lines. 330-886-0813. Mr. Football leads us off. Vince, what's going on, my brother?
Good day to you, Ronnie, and your listening audience out there in wireless land.
Yeah, what's going on, brother?
Well, Ronnie, the great experiment's going to partake on this Saturday, the Fighting Penguins against the Bison of North Dakota State. I think they're going to have, if you're a football enthusiast, you're going to love it because it's the only game in town.
Yeah, it's and it's on a Sunday afternoon. The reason why it's being played on Sunday, the Fargo Dome, which is not the property of North Dakota State, the Fargo Dome is going to be in use on Saturday, so they're not able to put this game on until Sunday. So they're going to be playing the game on Sunday. And, oh, by the way, if you didn't think Vegas was going to get involved in this, they are. Youngstown State is a 23.5-point underdog to North Dakota State Sunday afternoon.
And I think it's about right because of the new turnover at YSU and the new coach and everything versus a team that's coming back, may I say, loaded on the Bison side of the podium.
Yeah, they're going to be without their quarterback Lance Lynn, but they have a pretty capable backup quarterback. So yeah, there's a good reason why North Dakota State is a large favorite. I mean, Youngstown State is very young. There's still a lot of talent left, but they're very young. I can understand why North Dakota State is a big favorite in this game on Sunday.
Plus the fact too that the Bison got in a game last year where YSU did not get in the game.
Yeah, that is very true.
And they have a little bit more, like you said earlier, Ron, a little bit more firepower on their side of the ball. But it comes down to getting. This is the first time that our new coach and the Fighting Penguins are going to be on display, and I think to say they got a fighting chance. Well, we could say that, but I think we're going to see what if the kids are going to play for all four quarters. If they're going to not get overwhelmed by the Bison, how many times in a row champion of the one.
Well, they've won 8 of the last 9 championships. I mean, they're a pretty solid program. And you bring up something that was very irritating to say the least, and it was the quitting attitude that this football team had in the last couple of years of Bo Pelini's head coaching regime. And it's not on Bo. It was on the very piss-poor culture that the players had. And I think that with Bo leaving, going to LSU, and the Penguins bringing in a new voice, I'll be very curious to see how this team reacts to Coach Phillips, and he's intense. And honestly, Vince, I think that if they continue that piss poor attitude the last couple of years, Coach Phillips will weed out those gentlemen and get the culture back to where it should be.
I think under the Bo regime, he couldn't get him to play the type of football he wanted them to play. He was old school, and these young kids today aren't exactly that way. They seem to be, you got to reach them. I mean, it works for Saban. It works for some of the old style coaches and stuff like that, the bigger programs, because that's the way you know that coming in and everything.
Well, I mean, look, talent is the biggest
Right.
the biggest thing, and I mean, you can have a great coach if the great coach has great talent. The great coach is going to get the great talent to win,
Right.
and there it is. I think a lot of people can sit back and the bad example is this past year where there's a lot of folks that believe, well, look at what Belichick did. Well, okay, let's also remember that 8 guys on the defense decided that they didn't want to play because they were more concerned about their health than they were about playing football.
They lost. You're right, Ronnie.
So when I hear people sit back and say coaching has little to do with the success, I think they're out of their damn minds. Coaching has a lot to do with the success of a program.
It's hard to take a 1-star athlete and pin him up against a 5-star athlete, and if the coach at the 1-star can get the kid to believe, he might be able to win 1 out of 5. But a true coach will get the players to play at that even keel from game 1 to game 12.
Yeah, and I think, Vince, the other part of it is you have a system, and you don't necessarily look for 4- and 5-star guys. You're looking for guys that are going to fit your system, guys that are going to fit your culture. FCS, you're not going to get 5-star athletes to go to FCS schools.
You're not going to. Yeah.
Yeah. So at that point, you're just basically recruiting guys that are going to be best fits for your program.
And they seem to find a niche there at North Dakota State. And we had that niche going for us in the 90s when Coach Tressel, now President Tressel, was walking the sidelines and everything. He got those kids that were on the border to go to a MAC school or a not Ohio State, but maybe in Indiana, to stay at home and play for him.
Wow.
He got those kids that came out of some schools that they had a little trouble at. He got them to play for him at YSU.
Well, and it was also a perfect storm. The MAC was was a miserable conference in the 90s. They
no
didn't,
TV contract.
Yeah, they didn't have the multi-million-dollar TV contract. Football was still incredibly huge. Not that it isn't now, but it was even more huge in that era, and the talent was a whole lot better back then because we had more people in the area. The steel mills were shut down, but we still had a lot more populated areas in northeastern Ohio than we do now. So the talent was a little bit better. It was just a perfect storm. Nowadays, can you still do the plant the flag in the state of Youngstown, draw a 100-mile radius around the state of Youngstown, and get the best athletes? Absolutely you can. The problem with that is the Mid-American Conference is no longer the joke of Division I football. It is now a pretty good mid-major conference with an insanely large television contract, and that has changed the game a little bit. But the recruiting factor is still very much the same. You can get 80% of your kids from that 100-mile radius from the state of Youngstown. The talent is still very much alive and well around here. It's just you're going to have to do a whole lot more fighting against the Akrons and the Kents and the Bowling Greens and the Toledos of the world.
And Ronnie, now that it's over, the recruiting for next year is all over. It's been a long, long time in our area. There wasn't a big-time recruit that was going to a big-time school. And, of the kids that signed, I understand, some of them signed with YSU, and stuff like that there that were, at the YSU level. But I didn't remember, I haven't seen, at some of the bigger schools in the valley, the Fitches, the Hardings, the Boardmans, the Moon. It was a bad year. It was a down year for both Mooney and Ursuline. I mean, I didn't see too many kids get, gravitate to a bigger school, even a MAC school. I didn't see too many kids going to a MAC school. YSU did, from what I saw, they did some good recruiting in the area.
No, they sure did. Yeah, they absolutely did. And I think next year is going to be an interesting year because you got a lot of high-quality athletes in the class of 2022, guys that I'll be curious where Bo Brungard goes to college. A couple of other really good football players. I'll be curious where their career leads them. But in the last few years, you really haven't seen a lot of kids from the three-county area that we call the Mahoning Valley, Trumbull, Mahoning, and Columbiana counties. We really haven't seen a lot of those kids put pen to paper and go to a Power 5 conference.
With the Brumgard kid, he reminds me of that McSorley kid that went to Penn State. He was the player of the year, I think he was in Maryland. He won 4 state championships as a quarterback playing from the 9th grade on. And he went on to Penn State, and he gained fame and fortune. He got drafted by the Baltimore Ravens and stuff. He got into the game. He got hurt, but he got into a game last year. But that Brungard kid reminds me more or less like him, a runner, a thrower. He's able to do that, offense that they ran at Penn State. Now, does he follow in his dad's footsteps, or does he go somewhere else?
That's the million-dollar question, and let's throw this in for food for thought. The quarterback position is pretty crowded right now at Youngstown State, where you're going to have 2 kids essentially playing on Sunday, and we'll see what transpires. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if Brungard went a little bit higher. If he went to a MAC school or a little bit higher. I mean, I'll be curious. I'll be curious where the recruiting trail leads Bo Brungard.
Indiana can run that offense. But getting back to YSU, I heard a coach one time say, when you have 2 quarterbacks, you really don't have one. But I think at YSU, the 2 quarterback system, because of what happened with the COVID and everything, and not having spring, a game, and not having, the fall practice and the fall games like they did, this is their time to really battle it out on the field. Who gets the starting job?
Honestly, I don't envision both of these quarterbacks playing all 8 games. I think that you'll probably see these 2 compete on the field for a few games, and then I would figure by game 3 or game 4, someone's going to step up and take the job over, and that'll be the end of that. Now, I'm more curious at how is Youngstown State going to navigate the choppy waters the first 4 games? I mean, let's look at the schedule. Oh, by the way, the best team in 1AA FCS football, North Dakota State in the Fargo Dome on Sunday. Oh, by the way, a top 5 program in northern Iowa who is opening up against South Dakota State on the road. And that'll be this coming 1 week from tomorrow. 2 weeks from tomorrow, you've got Southern Illinois, which is a top 25 program. And then the Penguins have to go to South Dakota State. So you're looking at 3 top 5 programs, 4 top 25 programs. Youngstown State, I hope and pray they can be 2-2 after the 4 games, and then the schedule lightens up a little bit.
Ronnie, it's been far and few in between. I don't remember a YSU victory at the Unidome in northern Iowa. That used to be our death knell. We'd go there and collapse.
Yeah, well, thank God they don't have to play them in the Unidome this year. Yeah. Northern Iowa comes to our place, and then the Salukis come to our place as well. By the way, the Salukis opening their season at home against North Dakota. Southern Illinois will be a 3-point favorite on Saturday.
Is that other Dakota team in our league now?
North Dakota? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
All right, Ron, I'll let you go. Have a nice – gets a little bit warmer. And a couple of the horses I had yesterday, they may be still running today.
To the glue factory, perhaps.
Lucky you, Ronnie.
See ya. 330 886-0813. God, I hate when my horses don't win. It's terrible. Let's go to the phone lines, 330-886-0813. I believe we have a call from the great state of Alabama. DJ, he just hung up. Well, doggone it, DJ. You got to hang on to the line here, son. I don't know. Maybe he's eating some. Some fried catfish down there. DJ, what's going on down in Bama?
Greetings from Troy, Alabama.
All right, now I got to ask: have you partaken in the fried catfish yet down there?
We got about as far as a local Sonic here in Troy, Alabama. We arrived late last night. Our Secretary of Travel, a.k.a. yours truly, really put Billy and I through the ringer on a couple prop planes. One of them was half sideways when we landed in Montgomery. But no, Ron, I have not taken the fish, the fried catfish, or any of the great foods that you've recommended so far. We got a cheeseburger, and I think Billy was really in on the corn dogs and the tots last night.
All right. Now, are they still planning on playing this game tonight at 7 o'clock? Because it is going to be really cold down there tonight.
Yeah, I mean, cold is relative, right? I mean, when you're named the Penguins, it's you bank on playing in the cold a little bit, and you bank on playing good baseball in the cold. There was a little bit of confusion going in. There's a lot of people that were thinking that this game was moved up to 6. It's going to be played 6 local time, which of course is an hour behind the YSN viewing area. So it will be played at 7 on ysnlive.com. We'll go on about 6:45 with the pregame show. But it's going to be 6 o'clock local here.
Yeah, and it's going to be great weather Saturday and Sunday. You're going to be in the high 50s, low 60s both days, an abundancy of sunshine. I mean, it's going to be picture perfect after a really cold Friday night. You'll have your doubleheader on Saturday, the single game on Sunday. It's beautiful down there. There's no two ways about it.
Yeah, it's weird, Ron. To be honest with you, it's always weird in life when you get on, you wake up and there's snow everywhere. You get on a plane and you wake up the next day and there's not. But it's going to be fun. People are saying, the local meteorologists are saying it's going to be about 40 tonight. When we start the game, 45 maybe, and then it'll drop drastically. Now, the Penguins were on the field last night, local time, at about 10 o'clock. So we got to feel how cold this place can be, but the guys were still out there in shorts. That's how excited they are and how used to the cold we are. So if I had to give an advantage to the Penguins tonight over Troy, it's the fact that I got to believe that if we look to our left from the broadcast booth, Troy's going to be bundled up, and our Penguins are probably going to have suntan lotion on.
Okay, the over-under on the amount of times our kids will be called a damn Yankee, I have set at 11.
That's probably pretty good. I mean, we've already been called Yankees, Billy and I, down here, because we don't say y'all or bless your heart or anything like that.
Well, here's the thing, and I lived in the South for 6 years. The popular phrase "bless your heart" is not a good thing. If someone says "bless your heart," they're basically calling you an a-hole.
Well, that's natural for when Billy and I get together, I guess. I mean, so we're excited about it. I mean, we couldn't add. I mean, you go to the South and the hospitality is amazing. I mean, can't wait. We found a local barbecue place we're looking to try here tonight. World famous, right on the sign. So we're going to put that to the test. And then obviously we're going to get some sweet tea and have some fun watching some YSU baseball and calling Coach Berta. Coach Berta has already been in our room this morning. We were discussing the Steelers versus Browns, and then it led to the conversation about what's at hand for tonight. But anytime you can talk to the head baseball coach and his staff about just life in general and outside of baseball, and be playing baseball here on February 19th, and everybody else is playing basketball, it's awesome.
Yeah, it definitely is. I got to ask, this barbecue place, it wouldn't happen to be Dreamland, would it?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, Billy kept calling it Porky's because there's a giant 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 pig on the side.
Oh, it's Corky's. Corky's barbecue. Oh, dude, you are going to absolutely love their barbecue sauce.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a picky eater. Billy's probably the more picky eater out of the two of us.
Yeah.
But I'll take it.
Yeah, no, it's the if you're going to go to Corky's, you got to do the pulled pork. You got to have their barbecue sauce. Buy it. They sell the bottles. Get it. Because you're gonna absolutely love the barbecue sauce, and get the fried catfish, because that's just a southern ritual, and you got to have cornbread as well.
Cornbread, I'm all in on.
Yeah.
Catfish, I mean, like I said, I'm not a picky eater. I'll eat it, but it's not my thing. But listen, if Ron Piteston tells me to eat something, I mean, you're going to the Hall of Fame for your cuisine and understanding of it. So I'll take it.
Okay, and the sweet tea, you'll probably come back with type 2 diabetes. I'm not saying they put a lot of sugar in their sweet tea, but I'm saying they put a lot of sugar in their sweet tea.
Well, the joke's on them. I've already got it. So maybe as long as I don't get the type 1, we're all right.
You're going to see some damn good baseball, I can tell you that. That's going to be a fun series. Troy is one of those really good mid-major programs out of the Sun Belt Conference. I loved when YSU opened up the season when they scheduled Troy, because this is a top 50-ish type of program that is a really solid team out of the Sun Belt. It's a good first 4 games for the Penguins to get involved in.
Well, yeah, you look at first off, the stadium's beautiful, and it's going to be a homer dome for everybody. You're going to see a lot of power. I guess you're going to hear a lot of power being put on display. Troy is built around their offense. Their catcher, Danny was telling me, is a preseason All-American for what he can do, not only behind the dish, but what he can do with the stick. So keep an eye on him. The shortstop is supposed to be one of the guys to keep your eye on for draft purposes and the noise he's making at Troy. The Penguins have their hands full. Do not think that just because we're not playing Mississippi State and we're playing Troy, that we're not going to have our hands full here with trying to get some W's like we did last year against Houston. But that being said, let's be honest, Troy has their hands full too, because this is not the same old YSU program that we've come to see and expect for the past decade or so. This is Dan Bertolini has had a vision, and he is executing on that vision with his staff, with the arms in the bullpen, with the starting rotation that he's put together. Coach Smith has done a fantastic job. Shane's done an awesome job. Coach Bunny as well. Of just knowing that it's us against the world. It's Youngstown against the world. We at YSN feel the same way. And, I got to be honest, Ronnie, I probably wouldn't be betting on the world at this point, because we opened the eyes last year. I think Troy's going to know what they've got, what they're up against. I think Danny knows that, you can play that card of, listen, they might know what they're playing, but they don't know who they're playing. They don't know the heart that you possess. And if anybody's going to lead these boys to victory, it's going to be Coach Dan Bertolini.
Well, they're no longer the doormat. I promise you that. This is when Youngstown State leaves the area and heads south to open up a season. They're no longer an automatic victory for the opposition. This is a much improved YSU team, and I'm going to be real curious to see how well we fare against. I would consider Troy to be a top 50-ish type of program. The other thing that I'm really looking forward to, write some names down who you believe are going to be good enough to get into the brand new draft league, and let's see how many of those kids from Troy and how many of our kids get an opportunity to play in that really cool league.
Well, I got to be honest. If I could have taped batting practice last night when we got to the field, I would have, because we were putting on an offensive display. And talking to Coach after the BP session, he said, it's a homer dome. They have this incredibly tall wall. It's listed at 310, I believe, in right field. It's almost like Fenway Park flipped over, but Bucko was driving the ball well over it, no problem. And you had a couple others doing it. Andre Good, who was unbelievable last season to start the year. I think it's first ever at bat with a home run in Houston. He was putting on a light show. I mean, you had Travis Perry putting him to the wall and off the wall in center field, which was the deepest at I think 410. So I mean, the power's there, Ron, and especially from the left side of the plate. The Gwins look a lot different this year, and it's weird saying that because it's a lot of the same guys. It's just I feel like they put a lot of intensity to their off-season training because they had to. It's been 346 days since they last took the field, so that's a long off-season to put into the weight and better yourself. But man, I think we're going to see some runs this series over the next 4 games. They're all going to be 9-inning games. So none of the 7-inning stuff that we're getting accustomed to in Major League Baseball, which I know you love so much. We're gonna play a lot of baseball over the next 4 days, and then we'll see where we're at, and then we'll head down to Louisiana next weekend and see against a top 5 program in LSU and another good program in Nicholls State what we can do.
Yeah, the assignment for me is to get Alan Dunn, the pitching coach from LSU, on the program next week. So
hats. That's all we want. We're trying to collect hats and shirts from everywhere we go. I know Stevie Les is back there wanting that Troy University hat, so I'm going to try to do my best to bring one back for him.
Let me see what I can do with LSU because, like I said, the pitching coach and I are tight. So let me see what I can do in terms of getting some equipment because Lord knows I need to get an LSU hat because
We'll bring it back. We'll tote it back for you. They don't have to pay the ship.
Now, the problem is they're going to have to bankrupt a third world country to get an official size on my dome, but neither here nor there.
They don't make any 9 3/4 hats anymore.
Hey, it's not that big, but it's definitely over 8, that's for sure. Hey, be safe down there. This will be fun. You guys are in the middle of nowhere, about an hour and change south of Montgomery, about an hour from the Florida border. And it's going to be baseball, and I absolutely love the fact that we open up the season tonight.
Well, it's crazy. Like I said, if you're at home and you're wondering what Troy is, imagine driving in Austin town and putting a major university right in the middle of Austin town because it's just like you talk about college towns like your Mount Unions and Westminsters and Ohio State. But Troy is way different. Like, people kind of warned us hey, if you blink, you'll miss it. But there's so much pride down here in the university. But it's true. Like, we almost missed the entire university last night driving to get to practice. But we certainly hit the Sonic. So we came up heads up on that one. But, Ronnie, we appreciate you holding down the fort while we're gone. And best of luck to all the basketball teams that are going to action tonight, that have had action. My Bulldogs. My Lady Bulldogs, proud of it. And Ron, there you sit in Championship City.
Indeed.
Palestine, Ohio.
Indeed. Their first league championship, and we made mention of that. Canfield pulling off the upset over Massillon Perry, so they're in the district semifinals, and that was fun as well. So good times all around.
Thank you guys for everything. Ronnie, keep holding it down. Don't eat too much of the candy out front.
No. That's not going to happen. Thanks for checking in, DJ.
See you, buddy.
See ya. DJ Oakley checking in at Troy, Alabama. All right, let's get to the phone lines real quick where we have the, hopefully, on the line, the head basketball coach of the Newton Falls Tigers, Roy Sembach. Nope. Dang it. All right, hopefully we can get Coach Sembach on here. Our segment with DJ went a little bit long, so Coach Sembach hopefully gives us a call back. Let's take a timeout and let's see if we can get him to give us a shout on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline, 330-886-0813. Newton Falls coming up large in the game last night at home against Liberty. They were down, down by 5. No, they were down 4. I'm sorry. Down 4 with 20 seconds to go. They wind up winning. They beat Liberty last night 59-58. They scored the final 5 points in the last 20 seconds to pull off a shocking upset over Liberty last night as Newton Falls goes to 12-5 on the campaign, 8-2 overall. Hopefully we'll catch Coach Sembach coming up next. It is a Friday edition of Running Point presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. Back in a bit.
New things happen all day. Some are good, some not so good. In today's complicated world, while you're busy working, playing, and living life, we're busy helping you make sense of the day's news. And there's only one place where it comes together with clarity, context, and accountability. It's 21 News at 6 with me, Madison Tromler, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 6. It's what the day's news really means to you.
Welcome home to a home made homier with Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. Inspiration starts at BairdBrothers.com and is turned into reality when high-quality hardwoods are delivered right to your home. Baird Brothers has the latest design trends, shiplap and skinny lap interior siding, antique oak rustic flooring, and, well, you'll find them all at BairdBrothers.com. Ordered easily, delivered conveniently, enjoyed comfortably. BairdBrothers.com.
WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Located on South Avenue in Boardman.
Hi, this is Jim Myers with Myers Family Insurance, your local Medicare and retirement resource. We're excited to have sports back. Whether you're on the field or cheering from the stands, sports unifies communities and brings hope for the future. We're all one team working together. At Myers Family Insurance, we know the importance of a great team.
Our team continues to grow to help you with your Medicare and retirement needs.
The annual election period is October 15th through December 7th. Now's the time to make sure your plan continues to meet your needs for the upcoming year.
Call today.
Hi, I'm Colin Chupa. And I'm Kelsey Clem from K-Squared Marketing. Our boutique marketing firm specializes in media planning and buying, public relations, event marketing strategies, and strategic sponsorships. We can integrate our services with your existing game plan, or we can be your entire marketing team. Your goals, our game plan. Let's win together. Call K-Squared Marketing at 330-623-2730 or visit ksquared.marketing to learn more.
Welcome back to a Friday edition of Running Point presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. The MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline open for business. 330-886-0813. That's 330-886-0813. With you till 3 o'clock. We got Power Hour coming up in the 3 o'clock hour. Plenty of basketball on the network tonight. We also have the YSU baseball game on the network tonight. Penguins in Troy, Alabama, opening up a 4-gamer with Troy and out of the Sun Belt Conference, and good to hear that they won't be doing that 7-inning BS that they're trying to jam down the throats of Major League Baseball fans. And maybe it's because they're opening up the season and they want everyone to be able to get into the ball games, and maybe that's the reason why they're playing 9-inning doubleheaders on Saturday. But yeah, give me the 9-inning doubleheader any day of the week and twice on Sunday. This garbage of playing 7-inning doubleheaders, it smacks of minor league baseball, and I saw enough of it when I was in minor league baseball. You had 7-inning games for doubleheaders, and it was garbage. Now, I understand the reasoning, especially when you're halfway through the season and you're trying to save some arms, you're trying to make sure that, you're trying to get people in and out. And, okay, I understand, but I don't agree with it. Baseball's a 9-inning game. It's 7 innings in high school, but it's a 9-inning game when you go to college and when you go to the pros. It's a 9-inning game. And if you're doing doubleheaders with 7 innings in length, it's not baseball. You've turned it into a high school event. Major leaguers aren't high school kids. College kids aren't high school kids anymore. Play the damn 9 innings. It bothers me when I see, teams and doubleheaders of 7 innings. Get that out of here. All right, let's go to the phone lines real quick. Thanks for calling in. You're on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline. What's going on?
How you doing, my brother?
Emmanuel, what's going on, brother?
Well, that was a great game. Newton Falls won on the buzzer. They had a steal, and then they hit a three-pointer. That was a great game. It was and they went crazy. But when I want to hear our coach talk about that when he calls back.
Yeah, they scored the final 5 points, and they steal one last night for sure.
Yeah, but Ronnie, I've been sitting back. I've been listening, and I don't know if I need you to be my psychiatrist or again, but it seems to me like my whole sports world is changing because I've been biting my lip so much, right? I'm sitting here watching a team that go 2-12 and be down by 30 points in the last game they played in the second quarter. I have never seen a Warren basketball program like that, and I'm just going to leave that alone.
Okay.
Then I go forward, and then I'm watching the Steelers, right? It doesn't matter how we do this, Ronnie. It's going to hurt. Whether we keep Ben, financially it's going to hurt. We get rid of Ben, financially it's going to hurt. We keep Ben, we lose Juju and Dupree. We keep Juju and Dupree, we lose Ben. And I'm sitting there saying, how do we get to this? Then I'm looking at the NBA where they're just sitting people down because they want to trade them. Now, if that is not tanking, what is tanking? Then I look at my Yankees, right?
Hang on a second. It's not tanking. It's essentially keeping the product healthy so you're going to be able to get what you can get, the fair market value. Because if you play Drummond and, God forbid, he gets hurt, then the market value goes to hell and you don't get much for him. That's why they're doing it.
Like I told you before, Ronnie, if you drop a brick on my toe, it doesn't matter if it's an accident or it's on purpose, you broke my toe. Now, if he was not being traded, and at the end of the season, you set him down, and if he's not being traded, they would say you're tanking. There is no difference. If you sit him down, you're not trying to win this game.
If you sit him down, you're making sure that his market value is going to be where it should be when you deal him.
Are you trying to win the game? Are you trying to win the game?
Well, you're trying to win the game with the guys that you're planning on keeping for the future of the Cavaliers. Again, you're looking short term. The Cavaliers are looking long term.
I'm looking at the game. You play the game to win. Then I look at my Yankees, right? And they're talking about keeping 14 pitchers, right? And only 3 people. And only three position players. Now, Dietrich is good. He's a left-handed player, a couple positions, right? They probably have to bring back Gardner. I don't know who the third was going to be. They're trying to put a team together on bargain basement prices other than the big guys. Now, that means Judd has to play every game. That means Stanton can't get hurt. He got DH every game. I don't think it's going to work. I just don't think it's going to work.
It's not going to be for the entire season. I can promise you that. I mean, they're
later on it goes to 27, don't it? Later on it goes to 27.
No,
right?
it's going to be at 26 and then to 25. So
okay.
So you're basically going to be 14 pitchers, 12 position players. Now, actually, I think it's reverting back to the last few years. So it's going to be 25 and 26 if you're playing a doubleheader. So you'll go 14 pitchers, 11 position players. So you'll have 8 starters in the field, 1 DH, and 2 guys that are going to be coming off the bench as pinch hitters for the first probably week or 2 of the season. Then they'll get rid of one of the pitchers, get a position player, and it'll be 13 and 12.
I think the majority of teams are starting the season off with 13 pitchers. I think 14 pitchers is an outlier. Now you know more about baseball than me, but they don't usually keep 14 pitchers.
No, they normally don't. I mean, you got 5 starters, and you normally have 7 or 8 arms in the bullpen. If the Yankees are going 9, that means that they don't trust their starters to go very long in the game. Hence, they're going to have the extra guy, an extra body out there, so they don't blow their bullpen up early in the season.
And I think I'm seeing things when it comes to college basketball. I'm looking at Ohio State. I don't see not one even close to being NBA ready player, or not even one person that's close to being an All-American, but they are a legitimate number 4 team. They're a good team.
Yeah, they're a solid team, and we'll find out just how good they are this weekend when they play Michigan. I mean, Michigan is a really, really solid program.
Seed.
Yeah,
Michigan's a 1 seed.
Well, I think they're number 3 in the nation. The Buckeyes are number 4. So Saturday will be a huge test for Ohio State because they're going up against the basketball factory known as Michigan.
I'm just glad we got out of Penn State last night with a victory because throughout the last 4 years we lost there. And the way we started off, at halftime it was tied. Unbelievable game.
Well,
hang
on a second. I mean, you know as well as I do that was a trap game, and Penn State played their butts off, and they damn near pulled off the upset because Ohio State was looking forward instead of looking at the present, and they finally woke up in time to get the 10-point win.
And I'm going to tell you, there's not going to be another game this season where Penn State hit that many 3-point shots. They're not that good.
No, they're a mediocre at best program.
But like their announcer said, when they see that scarlet and gray, they play better. And he says that about any sport when Penn State plays Ohio State. And I don't want to jinx them because I haven't said nothing about them, right? Because I've been beating the drums right about that. I'm gonna say it real low so can't nobody hear it. That YSU men's basketball team, they're doing pretty good.
Yeah, let's just hope they continue playing solid basketball, Emmanuel.
Okay, so that's so all this stuff is going on, Ron, man, and I can't make sense of it. So I'm just sitting back and I'm waiting to get information from other people because I don't know what Pittsburgh's going to do. I have no idea what they're going to do. I have no idea what the Yankees are going to do, and I have no idea what the Philadelphia 76ers are going to do. One time Ben Simmons is an all-star. The next time the guy shouldn't even have a uniform.
Well, they're right now. Arguably, they're the best team in the Eastern Conference. So they're doing something right now.
I don't know. I don't know. When I seen KD, when I seen Harden go between his legs, spin around, jump back and hit a 3-pointer, and I seen KD jump up on the bench and push Irvin down. And Irvin got up and put back. They was all excited. They working together.
Emmanuel, I gotta get going. Thanks for the call, brother. I appreciate it. All right. 330-886-0813. Let's see if we can get Coach Sembach on from the Newton Falls Tigers. Maybe not. 330-886-0813. The MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline open for business as we're trying to get in touch with the head basketball coach of the Newton Falls Tigers, Roy Sembach. Coming up at 2 o'clock, we will hear from the head basketball coach over at West Branch, Michael Brown, as Coach Brown will join us at 2 o'clock. All right, let's get to the phone lines. I think we have finally made contact. Coach Roy Sembach of the Newton Falls Tigers joining us on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline. Coach, how are you today, sir?
I am fine. How are you?
I'm good now that we finally got you to get through to us. Hey, it probably was as difficult getting through to us or getting on our phone lines as it was to get past Liberty last night. What a great win for you guys.
It was a great win. We've had two unbelievable victories against the Leopards this year. So they're very hard to explain, but we'll certainly take them for sure.
You guys were down by down 4 with 20 seconds left in the game. You were down 58-54. Take us through the final 20 seconds and the crazy ending that you guys had.
Okay, even before that, we were down 58-52 with like 40 seconds to go. And they missed a foul shot. We fouled them pretty much intentionally to hope they would miss. They did, and Joey Klein took it to the basket and got fouled. So with 40 seconds to go, he made 2 foul shots to make it 58-54. And then we got a steal, and the 22nd Josh Honeycutt drove to the basket. He got fouled. The shot almost went in, but didn't. So at the foul line, he made the first to make it 58-55, but missed the second. And we pressed off of the missed free throw, and Nick Rapsack deflected the ball from behind, and then Josh Honeycutt got the steal, and he drove in and scored to to make it 58-57 with 6.7 seconds left, and we called timeout at that point. And we set up where we wanted to deny the inbounds pass, switch all screens. We did not put a man on the ball. We wanted to have a guy back in case they tried to throw the ball long. And, of course, if we got the steal, great. If not, we were going to foul right away. Well, we did a great job of switching on the denial. They did send someone long. We had a guy back, so they didn't have that. So they just were looking to get it in. They threw it up over the one kid's head, and Joey Klein came up and stole it and drove it, took it right to the basket, and put it in with a couple seconds to go, and we had a 1-point victory.
Wow.
Yeah.
Listen, you play defense, you play solid defense, and I love the fact that a lot of coaches would have put a body on the inbounder. You guys chose not to, and that's a great decision because you get an extra defender to possibly double team someone or to play safety, if you will, using a football term, to make sure that they can go one direction or the other and try to pick the pass off.
Yeah, there's two schools of thought on that. A lot of times if you have a really big kid who can bother the inbounder and just make it difficult to see and get the ball, then it's a good idea to put a man on the ball. But we just thought with yesterday, we just thought our better chances, because we needed a full denial. We couldn't let the ball in. And, it'd be easy to go over the top if we didn't have anybody back. So we thought we should put one back so we could take that away. And, it worked out. We could do it 10 more times, and it might not work at all, but it worked perfectly when it needed to.
Newton Falls head basketball coach Roy Sembach joining me on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline. Coach, I'm a big fan of the Newton Falls program. Year in, year out, you guys have developed some great basketball at Newton Falls. Talk about the tradition of playing basketball at Newton Falls High School.
Well, I think it all starts. We've had two coaches in 65 years. Gene Zorn, my predecessor, who I played for and coached under, was there for 31 years, and this is my 34th year. So we've had great continuity at the school. And, we've built a winning tradition. We've had a winning season, I believe, 14 years in a row and 22 out of 23 years, so something like that, give or take a year one way or the other. And with that, the kids take a lot of pride in developing and becoming players. We've always had camps for kindergarten kids through 9th grade every summer for the past 20-some years, minus this year because of COVID. We were not able to do that. So the kids, they work. It's a program that's not a transfer program. We don't get a lot of kids coming in from other places or anything like that. It's my staff, which does a great job, do our best to develop kids from a young age and work on the fundamentals and we kind of have a family atmosphere. Like when you could go to games, our campers and young kids would come to the games, and our varsity kids know who they are and talk to them. And on the other hand, we have alumni who come back all the time, come to our games. They come to our practices and help. And it's we hope we've created a real family atmosphere with Newton Falls basketball, and we take a lot of pride in that.
Yeah, it's a basketball factory. I mean, you guys, your success has been incredible year in and year out. And I love the fact that you've developed the program into the kindergarten level, as far back as the kindergarten level. And I think there's so many schools that really aren't doing that. And that's the reason why they're not maximizing their abilities, because you're not getting those kids to fall in love with the game that early in life, because when you do this, you're going to have kids that are going to be passionate about playing basketball when they get into 4th and 5th and 6th grade and then into junior high basketball.
Yeah, I think so. That can go both ways as well, too. Sometimes you can be a little overzealous and maybe you do too much and they get tired of it and maybe burn out. But if you keep it fun for them, I think that's very important to make sure it's a good experience, it's a fun experience, and you don't overdo it. When you introduce them to some things and have fun with it, then yes, they want to keep. You always want to have that where they want to come back for more, and as long as they do that, that's a good thing. I think schools that do have programs where they develop year after year. That really helps because we're not able to do like some schools do, where it doesn't matter who they have up through their 8th grade or what they do. They just go out and find the best players for places in the area, and they play on their teams, and that makes it a lot easier. I think this is more special this way, a lot more fun, and a lot more meaningful when you basically you develop a kid, and you know that kid for basically their whole life, from kindergarten and then after high school. You know them and have a good, nice, positive relationship with people. That's a great reason for coaching, for the relationships, not necessarily the winning and losing, but the relationships and helping a kid develop, get better at basketball, get better at life, and having that relationship for their entire life.
Coach, I had Aaron Blatch on, the head girls basketball coach at Crestview yesterday, and he was remarking on how great the Mahoning Valley Athletic Conference great tier is in girls basketball. You can make the same argument for boys basketball. My goodness, is it a fun league. I mean, you got Newton Falls, a really good Liberty team that you knocked off last night. LeBray is outstanding. Brookfield is fantastic. On a given night, Crestview can play with just about anyone. And it's going to get better with Garrettsville Garfield coming into the league next year. The MVAC, both gray and scarlet tier, turning into a really good basketball conference.
Yeah, it's really competitive. I mean, that's on any given night, any team can win, and that's what it makes it fun that way as well too. If you have somebody that's super dominant, or you have a couple teams that just can't beat anybody, that's not as fun. But yeah, it's been a very competitive league this year. You're right, Garfield coming in, they've had a lot of success in the past few years. They're going to make it even better and more fun.
And obviously, this is going to make every single team really strong going into the tournament. You're going to be tournament tested. I don't think there's any two ways about that.
For sure. We all are. And the tournament, I mean, most of us are in that Division III tournament, which, now basically breaks down into two different brackets. And there's going to be so many games that you could almost flip a coin on who's going to win, which, again, it's a shame we won't be able to have a lot of fans, because I think you're going to see a lot of really close, hard-fought tournament games in the next weeks here.
I'm going to ask, and we have Coach Roy Sembach on from Newton Falls on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline. And, I don't know if this is going to be a yearly thing or not. I don't know if this is something that the Northeastern Ohio Board has just thrown a feeler out. But what do you make of the new tournament format for this year?
You mean as far as the
two districts combining into one? What do you make of this?
I'm old-fashioned, and I like the old way. I mean, the complete old way, where you teams from you had 12, anywhere from 12 to 16 or 17 teams from one little area played, and because you all kind of knew each other pretty well. And I also liked when you went to a place to play. That there were host sites instead of even the home games are nice when you have them, but I still like the old way. This way, it's not too bad, because they basically combined us with the Salem tournament, so it's still mostly local teams, and we avoided getting some of those superpowers that from the Cleveland area to be hooked up with. But it's hard to seed because you don't see every team, you don't know every team, and seeding is really difficult. I wish if they were going to do it like this, they would kind of do seeding like football. That's not a perfect way, but at least it's a fair way, and it might be a little bit better. But I mean, overall, since we're hooked up pretty much with the Salem district combined, I don't think it's too bad. I still prefer the other way, where you if you're the best team in your little area, you get a chance to win something. But I don't know if they're going to continue this or not. This is a Northeast Board decision, and I'm sure they can revisit it, but who knows what'll happen with that.
It seems to me that it's going to be a little more challenging for the coaches when it comes to scouting teams, because, well, you're going to be playing the same time as everyone else when the tournament starts on Tuesday night. All the games are going to start at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, that's kind of been that way for the past couple of years. That's what I don't like about that. I like the old-fashioned way where, you know, most recently, all of our games would be like at Howland, and everybody be playing at a different time. And it was just kind of nice to go and see everybody play, whether you were scouting or even if you had lost and were done, just to mingle with the other coaches and get to see all the teams. I don't like that. Yeah, everybody plays at the same time. You know, now with video and everything like that, it's not too much of a trouble to, you know, find video on who you're going to play and be able to scout that way. But just miss being able to go out and see other teams play on tournament basketball.
Well, I'll even go back a step further and go back years and years and years ago. I remember when we would have, and I graduated from Leetonia, so we were in the Tri-County League. I remember when we used to have the Tri-County League preview, where all 8 teams would be playing on the same night on the court of the defending champs, and everyone would play 2 quarters. You'd play the first quarter against one team, the second quarter against another team, and everyone got an opportunity to play 2 quarters. I thought it was a fantastic idea. I wish it would be revisited as early as next year.
Right, we did that back in the days when I played. We were in the Trumbull AA League, and even at first, when I first started coaching, we had a league preview, and it was at a predetermined site. It wasn't necessarily who won the league the year before, and the other difference is we would just play one team for 2 quarters, but all 8 teams in the league, there'd be 4 different halves of basketball. It was a nice way to start the season, and usually it was a nice little money maker for the league as well too, as a lot of people attended that to get their first look at basketball in the year.
Roy Sembach, the head basketball coach of the Newton Falls Tigers, joining me on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline. I had a coach get a hold of me today, and his program has struggled for a lot of years, and he finally sat back and said, we've got a focus that we're now adopting. You don't necessarily have to shoot well to win. You have to play defense and rebound. And I thought about that, and I was like, you know what? That's a great idea, because you can score 70 points, but if you don't play defense, you're going to wind up losing 72, 73, 74 to 70. If you play solid defense, box out and get the defensive rebound and prevent the other team from getting a second and third look and crash the boards on the offense, you got a really good chance at winning a ball game.
Well, we tell our kids it's defense first. I think, especially in high school basketball, it's easier to play good defense than it is to play good offense. There are not too many LeBron James or Michael Jordans, guys who you can do everything you can to stop them, and they're still going to score. In high school, if you play great defense, you can shut teams down, and defense ends with the rebound. You've got to be able to do both those things. And if you play great defense, I think you're always going to have a chance to win. If you can hold teams down into the 40s and the low 50s, you're going to have a shot. In fact, we do tell our teams, defense determines whether we win or not, and offense determines by how much. If you play great defense and you still struggle at the offensive end, you got a chance to win. If you play great defense and you shoot it really well and handle the ball well, then you're going to win by a lot. So, I think in high school basketball, even it's true probably with all levels. The NBA probably doesn't get enough credit for the defense they do play because how good those guys are offensively. But I think defense is what is probably the main ingredient in winning games and winning championships.
Coach, how tough is it to tell a kid in this world in which we're living in, the three-point shot and looking at college and the NBA and seeing all kinds of offense being played, how tough is it for a coach to sit a kid down and say, look, you're going to have to play solid defense if you're going to get minutes on my basketball team?
Well, I don't think it is that hard because of what you just said. They know they have to do it to get minutes. And ultimately, kids, as much as they want to shoot, as much as they want to score, and they want the limelight like that, ultimately, most kids, they want to win. And they want to know what it's going to take to win it. And we've kind of have the philosophy how we kind of play, too. We make put such an importance on defense, and we as coaches really control our defense a whole lot, and then we tend to give them some freedom on offense too, to let them go and make decisions and put them in motion situations where they can be creative and things like that. So it's kind of a give and take with our team. You commit to doing this for us at this end, and we'll give you a little leeway at that end, and so that can be fun for you.
The tournaments will be starting on Tuesday. I mean, you got some unfinished business yet. You still have to place. You still have to play a game before the end of the regular season. And it's amazing to me that you guys are going to be able to get. You've got 17 right now. It's amazing to me you're going to be able to get 18 games in. Given the fact that the month of December was basically a shutdown month because you live in Trumbull County.
Yeah, and not only that, we got shut down with COVID when everybody else was allowed back. We didn't play a game until January 12th, which I believe in the entire Mahoning, Trumbull, Columbiana County area, I believe we were the very last team to play a game. And I have a group of seniors that are just really, I love them, and I wanted to give them the opportunity to play as much as they could. And we even scheduled 22. Now, we've actually scheduled about 40 because some have been, canceled and rescheduled and so on. And we were playing 4 games a week, which a lot of people thought was crazy. And it was a little bit crazy. And we may have suffered a little bit there. And, plus when we got combined with some injuries, made it a little bit tougher. But, we were playing 4 a week, and then we got shut down again a week and a half ago as well, which now made it impossible to play all 22, but we've got a good portion of them in, and then, yes, we still got a very big one Saturday night with LeBray, our arch rival, coming to our place with basically first place in the league on the line. So that's a very, in a crazy year, it'll be a very, very exciting way to close the regular season for us.
You picked up the 3rd seed in the D3 tournament, which I think is an unbelievable honor. You guys are in you're in the district with Cardinal Mooney. The bottom half of the bracket. You'll open up with East Palestine on Tuesday night, assuming you get a victory there. You would next play on Friday night against a familiar team, the team you just got done beating last night in Liberty, and the game would be played back at Newton Falls. It's no rest for the weary, Coach. This D3 tournament's no joke.
Right, and Liberty really will be gunning for us. I mean, the first time we played, we were down, and I'm not exaggerating, we were down 25 points with 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go. And we were down 16 points with 1 minute 36 to go. And we won the game in double overtime. So they got a very sour taste in their mouth from that. And then they, outplayed us again last night for most of the game, and we came back and stole another one from us. So, Liberty, if we get to that game, they're going to feel very good about their chances, and we're going to have to make some adjustments and some improvements to be able to get by them. They're a very dangerous team for us.
Coach, before we let you go, and we're speaking with Roy Sembach, the head basketball coach of the Newton Falls Tigers on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline. You've been around this game for most of your life. You've coached Newton Falls for a long, long time. What would you tell a person that wants to get into coaching or is just starting the journey of being a basketball coach? What advice would you give a young and upcoming coach?
Well, I think it's a very rewarding thing to do if you want to do it. And you've got to be able to make sure that you have time. If you're married or dating somebody steady, make sure there's somebody who likes what you're doing as well too, and going to be able to give you that time. I have a wonderful wife, Laura, and my kids are both always kind of been into the coaching stuff and love me doing that, so that helps. So you got to commit time, and probably it's another very simple thing. Sweat with your players. Go out there when you're doing things and show you care by working at practice, and let them see. If you expect them to work hard at their game and work hard to be good, let them see that you're working hard at it and that you have a passion for it as well. And then secondly, if you're lucky enough to get a head coaching job or anything, surround yourself with good people, people who know the game and are loyal people. I would not be coaching high school basketball still at this time if I didn't have an incredible staff. Mike Mazanetz, my top assistant, does an incredible job, and we have others: Dan Rankin, Pat Harnicher, Craig Reynolds, and our junior high guys that I have confidence and trust in, that I don't have to do everything. And I delegate a lot of responsibilities. And that's another thing I would say, too. So I see a lot of coaches, when they get a job, they kind of want to do everything. I mean, they're like coaching the JV game, they're coaching the junior high games, they're doing all that. Get some good people around you who can help you and make life easier that way. But it's if you have the time and you have the energy, it's a very rewarding profession and something I've really enjoyed doing for a long time. And as long as I continue to have good help with me, I still have no timetable on how long that I'll be able to do this.
Well, it's one of the best programs in our Mahoning Valley, and it's certainly a program that year in and year out, quality basketball, fundamentally sound basketball, and you're a big reason why. I'm a huge fan of yours and a huge fan of your program, sir.
Well, I appreciate it very much. We'll keep plugging away, and I appreciate the kind words.
And I was honored to call your guys' game against Crestview in Crestview, and I'm still blown away that Crestview was able to beat Newton Falls on the Rebels' home floor. That was a little surprising, Coach.
Yeah, especially with the start we got out to that night. Crestview's one of those teams. You talk about a veteran coach who does a great job. Rick Gates fits that bill. I mean, he's a really good man and a really good coach. And Crestview's just one of those teams that when you play them, the score is going to be 45-40. Whether you're a good team, an average team, or a bad team, it's going to be 45-40, and they might have the 45 or they might have the 40. They're just one of those teams that kind of uglies the game up a little bit, and plays this, not as many possessions in a game, and it always ends up being close. And in that game, we jumped out to a big lead, and they switched their defenses a little bit, and it bothered us. And we missed shots, and we had some really silly, unforced turnovers, and that's what also hurt us last night against Liberty. We were given teams that we were talking about defense, we're actually giving up points at the offensive end of the floor to the other team. That you have to eliminate that. And when we came back and played Crestview the other night, we did a little bit better job when we got the lead, and they went to the same type of defense, and we handled the ball better, shot better, and got a victory. But in our league, anybody's good enough to beat anybody. Crestview's also beat LeBray once and lost to them once, so you just never know.
Yeah, it's familiarity in this league. If Crestview can get past United, they'll see LeBray in a sectional title game. It's just, I love the fact that the MVAC Gray and Scarlet tier are going to be alive and well in the D3 and D4 tournaments, and it's going to make the D3 and D4 tournaments that much more fun to watch.
Oh, absolutely. It's teams are familiar with each other too. It makes it's tougher to win because they know your strengths, they know your weaknesses, and good teams take your strengths away and exploit your weaknesses.
Coach, best of luck on Saturday night. It's a huge game. Is it in their place, or do you have them in Newton Falls?
At Newton Falls.
That joint will be jumping, or what fans can be allowed into the gym, and that just. I know how difficult it's coaching in this COVID world it could be. With you got to wear the mask all the time, and barking out instructions with the mask on your face at practice time. It had to have been just a weird atmosphere all year long, Coach.
It certainly has, but at least we're playing, and that's how I look at it. The kids have got a chance to play, and as different as it is, and all the protocols and everything we've had to go through, I would do it again to make sure the kids have the opportunity to play. So hopefully it's back to normal next year, as close to normal as can be. But at least we're getting to play this year, and I'm very, very thankful for that.
Agreed wholeheartedly, and hopefully next year COVID's kicked to the curb, and we have standing room only crowds at Newton Falls and other great places to watch a basketball game.
For sure.
Coach, best of luck to you on Saturday night. We look forward to seeing you in the tournament trail, sir.
I appreciate it very much, Ron. Thank you.
All righty. Roy Sembach, he is the head basketball coach of the Newton Falls Tigers. And you talk about a program that doesn't really get looked all that much in terms of when you talk about great programs, year in, year out. You know, in the era of Rick Brook and Sebring, that program was unbelievable. The era of Boardman with Alan Burns, and now where Boardman sits, that's becoming an unbelievable program. Ken Grisdale does an amazing job at Poland. Coach Cullen had a great program at Canfield. Now Canfield with Coach Muckleroy. Coach Cullen developing a solid program at South Range, and obviously Ursuline and Struthers, and all of the other really, really solid programs, McDonald. And yet when people are starting to talk about Youngstown Cheney, I got to throw them out there as well. When people start talking about basketball programs, Newton Falls doesn't normally go at the top of the list. I'm going to tell you what, if you go back and look in the last 20, 25 years, this program should be on top of everyone's mind. Newton Falls, year in, year out, holy crap, are these guys good. They just put out some great, great basketball. All right, we're going to take a timeout, be back with more. It's a Friday edition of Running Point, presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. We're back in a bit.
Baird Brothers remains your source for fine hardwood products. For the time being, we're open for customer pickup only on weekdays, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Saturday from 9 a.m. till noon. Place your order online at BairdBrothers.com. Baird Brothers, for the place you love.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
The 4M Company, being an architect and construction manager for over 40 years, has had the opportunity to use many different electrical businesses for our projects. The depth, quality, and knowledge and attention to detail displayed by Dickey Electric makes them stand out above all the rest.
For state-of-the-art expertise and a timeless commitment to our customers, contact Joe Dickey Electric. We are everything electrical.
I went to Greenwood Chevrolet because I was really interested in looking at the tracks.
Because I wanted my dream truck.
Because I've been going there for 20 years. I think whenever we go there, whatever car we're looking for, they have tremendous inventory.
If you're looking for people who care about you, Greenwood is the place to go.
You know, it's like family there. The girls know me in service. It's Miss Kim in the Tahoe.
I'm really happy that I went
to Greenwood Chevrolet.
Because they really went
the extra mile for me.
Now we're going the extra mile for you, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Local teams are heating up the hardwoods, and you can keep up with all the action on and off the court with Five Guys Hoop News all season long on 21 Sports.
Hello, I'm Greg Burbick with G. Burbick Farms. For the last 100 years, my family has farmed in the Columbiana and Mahoning counties. I began raising cattle in 1996 with the goal of providing a better product for you and your family on the dinner table. Our grass-fed and grain-supplemented Black Angus beef are raised with no hormones, steroids, or antibiotics. We're known for our hometown-friendly service and incredible tasting products. We're locally owned and have customers across the tri-state area. Our products go from our farm to your family. Stop by our farm on New Buffalo Road or visit us on the web at gburbickfarms.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. G. Burbick Farms, it just tastes better.
Hi, this is Tommy Clem, owner of WRS Insurance Solutions.
WRS Insurance Solutions is a local, independent agency that specializes in life, Medicare, long-term care, and disability products. Call us at 330-953-3722 or visit us at WRSInsuranceSolutions.com to learn more.
Good luck to all the student athletes in the Valley.
Right now is a great time to get more for your trade-in at Tri-State Ford and drive home in a new or pre-owned vehicle. Choose from our great selection of new Ford models or pre-owned vehicles. Plus, get the Tri-State Ford Advantage, including a 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty and more. At Tri-State Ford, we'll pay you top dollar for your trade, but you don't have to purchase one of ours to sell us yours.
Customer focus, community driven. Tri-State Ford East Liverpool or visit tristateford.net.
News doesn't stop after the sun goes down. Sometimes you just have to hustle to get it. At 21 News, no matter how far it is, no matter what it takes to get there, we're working to bring you the best stories and the freshest content at 11 p.m. with the context and clarity that makes it worth staying up for, no matter what time it is. 21 News at 11 with me, Erin Simonek, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 11, news that's worth your time.
Welcome back to a Friday edition of Running Points presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. If you're in the market for a brand new or slightly used automobile, you owe it to yourself, hell, you owe it to your checkbook to check out the good folks at Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. They got a great sales department, a great finance department, and a superior service department. Add it all up, and that means you owe it to yourself and your checkbook to go to Greenwood Chevrolet before you make your final decision, because buying a car, that's a big financial upbringing. You owe it to yourself to check out Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. An announcement that was made that went under the radar yesterday by the OHSAA. As we've been talking about boys basketball, we just had Coach Sembach on from Newton Falls, and we certainly appreciate him coming on. We'll have Michael Brown from West Branch coming on at 2 o'clock. Regional sites were announced by the OHSAA, and you will not be seeing the normal regional sites. Now, normal is in D4 and D3, the Canton Fieldhouse, D2, the Canton Civic Center, and in Division 1, the region was normally played at the Convocation Center up on the campus of Cleveland State University. They've all been replaced. You are going to be going into high schools for the regional tournament, which I think is absolute, utter bullcrap. It is. It just is. Now, I understand why the OHSAA is doing this, because it's a money-saving thing. If you go to a high school, you don't have to pay rent. You don't have to pay a certain amount of money for these high schools, because the high schools are a OHSAA school. So that's the reason why they're doing this. But it's still utter garbage. And I understand, given the fact that you're not going to have 100% capacity, and we're not going to be getting 100% capacity at all in this tournament. I understand the reasoning. I still don't agree with it. It's just this is kind of it's not going to be a normal circumstance. Division 4, the regionals, will be played at Akron Firestone High School instead of the iconic Canton Fieldhouse. Division 3 will be played at Twinsburg High School up in Ravenna instead of the iconic Canton Fieldhouse. Division 2 will be played at Barberton High School, which is west of Akron, instead of the iconic Canton Civic Center. And Division 1 will be at Twinsburg as well, instead of Cleveland State University. Again, the OHSAA is saving money. The Northeast Board and everyone else, they're saving money. They're not renting out the Canton Civic Center. They're not renting out the Canton Fieldhouse. They're not renting out the Convocation Center. They're saving money. And I understand from a perspective of you don't want to lose any money. Okay, I get it. All of this is, it's just going to be a very strange tournament. It's going to be a strange tournament because you aren't going to be allowed to have 100% capacity. And now if you go to a regional tournament, you're not going to be given the opportunity to go to what I consider to be very sacred ground. If you're a D4 program, I represent my alma mater. Leetonia played one basketball game in their basketball history. They have played one game on the sacred ground, that is the Canton Fieldhouse. And it was a district semifinal game. Back in the days, they didn't have district tournaments at the Struthers Fieldhouse. I don't understand why. It was a complete and utter disaster. Why you would have two local teams play an hour down the road instead of over at the Fieldhouse in Struthers. It was weird, but that's how they did it. Leetonia played Columbiana in their one and only trip to the Canton Fieldhouse. They wound up losing the game by 1 point. That's a special place. I mean, if you're a Division IV program, every D4 program, their goal is to go to the Canton Fieldhouse. If you can get to the Canton Fieldhouse, that means you're one of the 16 best teams in the state of Ohio. And if you win 2 games there, you're going to Columbus. Your goal isn't to go to Akron Firestone High School. If you're a D3 program, your goal is to go to the Canton Fieldhouse, to be one of the 16 best teams in the state of Ohio. Your goal is to win a district and go to the Fieldhouse to play regional basketball, not to go to Twinsburg High School. Your goal, if you're a Division II team, is to get to the Canton Civic Center, to be a top 16 program. With 2 wins, you go to Columbus, not to go to Barberton High School. No offense to Akron Firestone or Twinsburg or Barberton, but they're not regional sites. They're just not. You're already putting a lot of changes into the tournament by combining 2 districts. And look, I mean, I think that it's going to work. I think smashing the 2 districts and forming one big district, I kind of like the idea. Now, what I'd really like to see is to have one centralized location to play the district tournament. That's what I'd like to see. One centralized location. If we're going to be doing Division IV, 2 districts smashed into one, and here's our top 4 teams, then put both district tournaments in the Fieldhouse or in a basketball arena. If you're going to do this in Division III, either put all of the district games in Salem, all of the district games in Harding High School, or find a place where you can play all of your district games. So you would have 2 districts. So you would essentially have, 4 district semifinal games and 2 district championships. Put them all in one umbrella. When you get to the districts, if we're going to keep this, and I don't mind, honest to God, I don't mind the 2 districts combining into one. I don't mind that. I don't mind the 25, 26 teams, and you seed them top to bottom, and I love what these guys have done, but here's where you need to improve upon this. Don't play the district tournaments at the home of the better seed. Find a place. Find a neutral place that is going to play all 4 of your 2 district semifinals and both of your district championship games. And if it's Division IV, it should be at the Struthers Fieldhouse. I want to go tradition. If it's Division III, it should be either at Salem High School or Warren Harding High School. If it's Division II, it should be played at Boardman. There really isn't a traditional place in Division I. Find one. Find one. And then let's get the regional tournaments back where they should be. The Canton Fieldhouse, Division 4 and Division 3. The Canton Civic Center in Division 2. And look, find a place in Division 1. If the Convocation Center doesn't want to host a regional tournament, then by God, put it somewhere where you can play the games. And if it's the Canton Civic Center, okay. Play the regional semifinals and the regional championship game at the Civic Center in D1 and D2. Play them at the Fieldhouse in D3, D4. Problem solved. But if we're going to do this format in the future, if we're going to do this format, you have got to play all of your district semifinal games and your district championship games in one neutral site. I'm sorry. I understand, for this year, I get it. I understand completely. Money's tight, and you're not going to have more than 15% of the size of your gym as an audience. I get it. But next year, when we finally kick COVID to the curb, and it's looking more and more like by the time fall rolls around, we're going to have everything back to normal. It's looking more and more like everything's going to go back to normal by next fall. When that happens, y'all need to get back to normal when it comes to doing the tournaments. I mean, I understand D4, D3, D2, D1 boys tournaments. You're going to put them in a high school because you don't want to pay you don't want to pay the freight for the field house or the civic center. Okay, I get that. But when everything comes back to normal next year, and it will, when we're back to 100% capacity crowds, and you want to play this, this new format where two districts are combined into one, then find a neutral site for the entire district tournaments for both districts and the two championship games. Find a neutral site so those games will be played in a neutral site in the district semifinals, all four games, two districts, two district semifinal games per district. So that's 4 district semifinal games and 2 district championships. Find a place for D4, D3, D2, and D1. Find a place and stay there. And like I said, the field house should be Division 4. It's been Class A, Division 4 for as long as I can remember, and it's a pretty damn long time. D3 should be either in Salem or Warren Harding, where it has been for years and years and years. D2 should be at Boardman. And D1, find a place. Find a place. I mean, this ain't rocket science. I understand for this year, I get it. I understand it. I don't like the fact that they're going to high schools for the regional tournaments. I think that the kids are getting absolutely screwed, especially if you're a first-time district champion. If you're a first-time district champion and your reward is, well, instead of going, if you're a Division 4, and I'll use Heartland Christian. Heartland Christian is the 3rd seed. They got a victory last night. There's a pretty damn good chance Heartland Christian is going to be one of the district champions. Pretty good chance. And if I were to sit back and tell the head coach of the Hartford Christian Lions, hey, by the way, congratulations, instead of going to the Canton Field House, you're going to go to Akron Firestone High School. Really? I mean, don't get me wrong, we're going to play regional basketball and we'll make the best of it, but really? We're not going to get that opportunity to go play basketball at the mecca of basketball in northeastern Ohio if you're a Division 4 school, the Canton Fieldhouse? Really? Utter garbage. Listen, I understand it for this year, but don't make it a habit. They damn sure better get these games back to the Civic Center and back to the Fieldhouse where they belong starting next year. That's just... I'm not a happy camper. Just not. I'm not a happy camper with that. I saw that announcement yesterday, and I damn near wanted to wring someone's neck when I saw that. Again, I understand from the money aspect. I get it. Doesn't mean that I'm happy about it. I'm pissed off about it, actually. All right, let's go to the games tonight. It's going to be a really good one at the Fieldhouse. McDonald taking on Struthers. This will be a great ball game. McDonald coming in with one loss on the campaign. Struthers still undefeated. These two teams will hook up at the Fieldhouse tonight at 6:45. Boys basketball tonight beginning at 7 o'clock, somewhere around 7. As I've always said, JV games will determine how soon these games are going to be played. I mean, if you get a JV game that's going long, your start time is going to probably be a little after 7. If the JV game goes short, then the program will, or the basketball game will start a little before 7. So keep that in mind. Here are the 7 o'clock games. West Branch is at Austintown Fitch. We'll catch up with the head basketball coach at West Branch, Michael Brown, coming up at the top of the hour. West Branch is at Fitch. Champion will take a trip to Crestview. Wellsville is at East Palestine. Poland will go to Girard. Lakeview is at Hubbard. Jackson Milton travels to Lisbon. Sebring is at Lowellville. Salem goes to United. Boardman is at Ursuline. That's going to be a fun game tonight. Springfield at Waterloo. That's going to be a fun game tonight. Those games all getting underway sometime around 7 o'clock. Could be a little before, could be a little after. Could very well start right at 7 o'clock. Those are the games that are going on tonight in boys basketball, as tonight and tomorrow night, the final 2 nights of the regular season. And then the tournaments start coming up on Tuesday night. Tournaments will get underway on Tuesday night. Girls sectional title games are tomorrow. Best of luck to all of the girls teams in our family, and we got plenty of teams left vying for a sectional title. Speaking of which, Canfield celebrating a sectional title last night with a victory over Massillon Perry in Massillon. This was an upset. The Cardinals go to the districts with a 51-36 win over Massillon Perry. Howland was beaten in the sectional title game by Stowe, 61-31. So Canfield will go to the district semifinals. Howland's season comes to a close. One regular season game. Congratulations to the East Palestine Bulldogs. Lady Bulldogs finished the regular season at 8-2, and they take the EOAC championship all by their lonesome with a 65-47 victory over Columbiana. Palestine was not seeded very high in the Division III tournament. And I'm going to tell you right now, this East Palestine girls basketball team, they're going to be a tough nut to crack. In the tournament. I'm just going to warn everyone. This is an impressive East Palestine team. Now, they don't have a lot of depth past their starting lineup. They don't have the depth that some of the other teams have, but this is a solid basketball program this year. This basketball season for East Palestine, it has been solid. Congratulations to the Lady Bulldogs picking up an EOAC championship last night all by their lonesome as they beat Columbiana 65-47. All right, 330-886-0813, the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline, open for business. Coming up at the top of the hour, we will catch up with the head basketball coach of the West Branch Warriors, Michael Brown. Coach Brown and the Warriors will travel to Fitch. West Branch, a D2 team, Austintown Fitch, a D1 program. So West Branch stepping up a class as they go to Fitch to take on the Austintown Fitch Falcons tonight. We'll have that game on ysnlive.com. Again, a reminder, at 7 o'clock, Mike Ackelson and the fellas will be busy here at headquarters here in East Palestine. The Open Look presented by WRS Wealth Advisors. Open Look tonight beginning at 7 o'clock on ysnlive.com. So do check that out as well.
WRS Wealth Advisors is the area's premier wealth and retirement specialist. With our combined 70 years experience and comprehensive wealth strategy, we assist our clients attain their goals. Call 330-965-0370 to learn more about our individual and corporate financial planning services, or visit wrswealthadvisors.com. Good luck, athletes.
Hi everyone, this is DJ Yoakley with Your Sports Network. We appreciate your support of YSN and welcome you to the YSN family. Our broadcast streams are brought to you live at no cost to you by sponsors that are local to this community. Without the vision and generosity of our sponsors and partners, we would not be able to bring this game to you today. So please support the great businesses and leaders that are making this game possible. And if you're a business in need of great advertising and sponsorship opportunities, feel free to head over to our site for more information on the right fit for you. We are local, we are loyal, and we are live. We are YSN.
Ah, the details. Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods is one fine ride. Perfect cornering, superb handling, sporty and stylish, power to spare, plus awesome mileage. Yeah, jaw-droppingly beautiful lines and well appointed with luxurious trim. Put more oomph in your life and start beholding the molding. Find your home's fine hardwood at BairdBrothers.com.
For heating, cooling, and indoor air quality, the Mahoning Valley trusts MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning, offering worry-free repair, service, and installation. Call MP Vivo today for a free estimate.
MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning. We're your energy-efficient experts.
Planning a project around your home or rental property? Trust the electrical service to the local experts with 62 years of serving the Mahoning Valley. Joe Dickey Electric is your local go-to source for responsive, reliable residential electrical work. From everyday maintenance and repairs to new installations, electrical upgrades, and safety inspections, no job is too big or too small. Call Joe Dickey Electric today, 800-549-3976, or visit DickeyElectric.com. That's DickeyElectric.com.
Welcome back to a Friday edition of Running Point presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. Okay, so if you are Catholic, like I am, we just started the Lenten season. This past Wednesday, a couple of days ago, was Ash Wednesday. This will be the first of, I believe, 6 Fridays in which, if you're Catholic, you're not supposed to eat meat on Fridays. This is the time in which everyone and their brother is going to be doing a fish fry. Now, let's be honest. Fish fries are incredible. If you're a fan of fish, you've got plenty of places in the Mahoning Valley to go to. Let me invite you to one place, and I represent my hometown. I represent the club of which I am a proud member. The Latonia Italian American Club has a fish fry, and it's every year during Lent. Now, they've been doing it since January the 15th, so we've been frying up fish for quite some time. It's now everyone and their brother is going to want fish on Fridays because it's Lent season. Now, I'm not saying this because I'm a member of the Latonia Italian American Club, and I'm certainly not saying this because I graduated from Latonia. I'm all about Latonia. I bleed navy, blue, and white. I'm not saying this for any of those reasons. Y'all know me enough to know that I don't give anybody props unless they deserve it, and it's doubly included with my alma mater. Not that, the Italian American Club is my alma mater. It's just a club that I happen to belong to. And I don't give anybody credit unless it's deserved. I am here to tell you without any hesitation, and trust me, I'm a pretty, I'm trying to lose weight, but I'm still a pretty fat guy. I got more chins than a Chinese phone book right now. I love food. I am here to tell you right now, you are not going to get a better fish dinner anywhere except Latonia. You're not going to get a better fish dinner. The Latonia Italian American Club, this afternoon and this evening, they will be frying up fish from 5 until 8 p.m. You can pick it up, and it's a takeout only because, welcome to COVID world, you're not allowed to eat there. Normally, we would have all kinds of tables set up, and the joint would be jumping. I mean, we have a room next to the bar. And you would have all kinds of tables and all kinds of people in the club to eat the fish dinner. Unfortunately, because of COVID, it's takeout only. But I am here to tell you, you get a fish. It can be baked. It can be beer battered fish. It's cod plus 2 sides. It's $11.50 for fish and 2 sides. If you're looking to do shrimp plus 2 sides is $8.50. We have clams as well. Clams plus 2 sides, $8.50. The fisherman's platter, it will include fish, shrimp, clams, 2 sides. It's $14. If you want a fish sandwich, $10.25. If you want a piece of fish, an extra piece of fish, it's $9.75. We have kids menus as well. Chicken tenders plus 1 side for $5.25. Hot dog plus 1 side for $3.25. And those are obviously for people that are Protestant, because Catholics aren't allowed to eat that stuff on Friday. I'm just saying. Our sides include baked potato, French fries, mac and cheese, coleslaw, applesauce, pasta fagioli, baked beans. If you are interested in partaking in, without any hesitation, I say this again, not as a member of the Italian American Club. You guys know me well enough to know I do not give credit to anybody, especially in my hometown, unless it is deserved. This is flat out a slam dunk. Send home the jury. It's not even close. The best fish dinner you will ever have in your life. If you're interested in partaking, call ahead for takeout, 330-427-9900. That's 330-427-9900. Now, I know some of you are going to sit back and go, Jesus, Ron, Latonia, are you serious? We're all up here in Austintown. We're all up here in Warren. We're all up here in, wherever you're living. I mean, Latonia's of the end of the earth. No, it's not. It's not. This is so easy to get to. Follow me on this one for a second, okay? I mean, write this down, because this is easy directions. Jump on Route 11. Take Route 11 south. I mean, most of you go Route 11 to Mountaineer. You pass the Latonia exit, for goodness sake. It's not the end of the world. Take 11 south to the Columbiana-Latonia exit. Now, there's going to be a Columbiana exit. You blow past that one. It's the Columbiana-Latonia exit. It would be State Route 344. Go to the exit ramp, make a right-hand turn at the stop sign. In about a mile or so, you'll go into the village of Latonia. Beautiful town. That's Columbia Street, which apparently it is 344 until you get to a certain part, but neither here nor there. Take Columbia Street all the way to the railroad tracks. You can't go straight anymore. If you do, you'll run right into our brand new sign. You don't want to do that, because everyone will be pissed at you then. You want to make a right-hand turn and go across the railroad tracks. You'll go to the second road on your left. The first road you can't turn left on because it's a one-way street. The second road is Main Street. You'll make a left-hand turn on Main Street. By the way, that's a one-way street as well. So you'll take Main Street. From that point, you'll go to a stop sign, go through the stop sign. Once you take a look to see who's on, you got clear traffic on Walnut Street. That's the intersection of Main and Walnut. You can literally see the Italian American Club from the stop sign. It's maybe 50 yards on the left-hand side. Past the stop sign, maybe 50 yards. It could be 100. It's on your left-hand side about 50, 100 yards past the stop sign. And I'm just going to tell you right now, trust me. Like I said, I didn't get fat because, because I don't like food. I got fat because I love food. And normally I'm not a fish fan, but I'm going to tell you right now, this is the best fish I've ever had. Beer battered or baked. It's really, really good. So if you're in the mood for fish tonight, you got to check out my friends, my great people down in Leetonia. You got to check it out. The Italian American Club, 202 Main Street in Leetonia, for pickup only. You call ahead for takeout, 330-427-9900. That's 330-427-9900. A fish dinner, it's beer battered or baked, plus 2 sides, $11.50. You are not going to get a better meal. It's that good. I promise you, it is that good. All right, 330-886-0813, the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline, open for business. We're back in a bit. Stick around.
New things happen all day. Some are good, some not so good. In today's complicated world, while you're busy working, playing, and living life, we're busy helping you make sense of the day's news. And there's only one place where it comes together with clarity, context, and accountability. It's 21 News at 6 with me, Madison Tromler, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 6. It's what the day's news really means to you.
Welcome home to a home made homier with Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. Inspiration starts at BairdBrothers.com and is turned into reality when high-quality hardwoods are delivered right to your home. Baird Brothers has the latest design trends, shiplap and skinny lap interior siding, antique oak rustic flooring, and, well, you'll find them all at BairdBrothers.com. Ordered easily, delivered conveniently, enjoyed comfortably. BairdBrothers.com.
WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Located on South Avenue in Boardman.
Hi, this is Jim Myers with Myers Family Insurance, your local Medicare and retirement resource. We're excited to have sports back. Whether you're on the field or cheering from the stands, sports unifies communities and brings hope for the future. We're all one team working together. At Myers Family Insurance, we know the importance of a great team.
Our team continues to grow to help you with your Medicare and retirement needs.
The annual election period is October 15th through December 7th. Now's the time to make sure your plan continues to meet your needs for the upcoming year.
Call today.
Hi, I'm Colin Chupa. And I'm Kelsey Clem from K-Squared Marketing. Our boutique marketing firm specializes in media planning and buying, public relations, event marketing strategies, and strategic sponsorships. We can integrate our services with your existing game plan, or we can be your entire marketing team. Your goals, our game plan. Let's win together. Call K-Squared Marketing at 330-623-2730 or visit ksquared.marketing to learn more.
Baird Brothers remains your source for fine hardwood products. For the time being, we're open for customer pickup only on weekdays, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Saturday from 9 a.m. till noon. Place your order online at BairdBrothers.com. Baird Brothers, for the place you love.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
The 4M Company, being an architect and construction manager for over 40 years, has had the opportunity to use many different electrical businesses for our projects. The depth, quality, and knowledge and attention to detail displayed by Dickey Electric makes them stand out above all the rest.
For state-of-the-art expertise and a timeless commitment to our customers, contact Joe Dickey Electric. We are everything electrical.
I went to Greenwood Chevrolet because
I was really interested in looking at the tracks.
Because I wanted my dream truck.
Because I've been going there for 20 years. I think whenever we go there, whatever car we're looking for, they have tremendous inventory.
If you're looking for people who care about you, Greenwood is the place to go.
You know, it's like family there. The girls know me in service. It's Miss Kim in the Tahoe.
I'm really happy that I went
to Greenwood Chevrolet.
Because they really went
the extra mile for me.
Now we're going the extra mile for you, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Local teams are heating up the hardwoods, and you can keep up with all the action on and off the court with Five Guys Hoop News all season long on 21 Sports.
Welcome back to a Friday edition of Running Point presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. We'll be chatting with the head basketball coach of the West Branch Warriors, Michael Brown, coming up at the top of the hour. Did want to tell everyone, Jason Kokrak is currently tied for third place at the Genesis Invitational at the Rivera Country Club in Pacific Palisades, California. That's just outside of Los Angeles. Kokrak is currently in the second round of the Genesis Invitational, and he is currently 1 under for the day, 5 under for the tournament. He is currently in a tie for third place in the second round of the Genesis Invitational. Right now, it's been all about Sam Burns. Sam Burns is 5 under for the day, 12 under for the tournament, as Sam Burns is currently winning this tournament by 4 shots over his nearest competitor, Tyler McCumber. McCumber is through 15, 4 under for the day, 8 under for the tournament. And then you have Jordan Spieth and Jason Kokrak, each at 5 under par. So right now, Sam Burns is making a mockery of the Genesis Invitationals. He has a rather lengthy lead in the second round of this tournament, and well, we'll see what Kokrak does. It would appear, barring a complete disaster, it would appear that Kokrak is going to be getting himself into a position to finish rather strong in this tournament. He is currently in third place at 5 under par. All right, 330-886-0813, the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline open for business. We're with you for another hour and change as we continue to talk some sports on this Friday afternoon. Running Point coming up, Running Point with you till 3 o'clock, and then you got Power Hour in the 3 o'clock hour, and then plenty of basketball on the network tonight, as I made mention. Plenty of games on the network tonight. And, of course, Youngstown State opening up their baseball season tonight in Troy, Alabama. DJ is down there, and that should be a fun time as we will have YSU baseball on the network tonight, as the Penguins will be in Troy, Alabama. It's going to be a little chilly. Game time temperature somewhere around 40 degrees. It'll be in the upper 30s. By the mid part of the game, probably in the mid-30s by late in the game. And then Saturday and Sunday, temps are going to be in the at or above 60 degrees. And plenty of sunshine on Saturday and Sunday. So plenty of great weather after a chilly night tonight in Troy, Alabama. So this should be a fun game. All right, before we catch up with the head basketball coach at West Branch, Michael Brown, I got to give a shout out to my alma mater. This is a basketball program that through the years, and we've made mention of this, Leetonia has not had a great tradition of basketball. This is a program that has had 3 stoppages in play this year because of COVID. Not of their own doing. I think one was a COVID outbreak in Leetonia, and the other 2 they stopped because of contact tracing. But they have been stopped 3 different times this year because of COVID. Now, obviously, they did not suffer the fate that some schools in Trumbull County did, where the entire month of December was pretty much shut down. But this is a basketball team that, despite being stopped not once, not twice, 3 times, they're going to play 19 games this year. They're going to get 19 games in. And the fact that this team, which last count I saw, 12 kids are playing basketball this year. JV and varsity. 12 kids. That's it. That's the entire amount of kids that are playing basketball at Leetonia this year. 12 kids trying to put together 2 programs, the JV program, the varsity program. Very limited kids out for basketball this year for whatever reason. Leetonia is 8-10 this year. Now they're gonna have their hands full tonight. They're going to be playing a really, really good Southern local team who, by the way, clinched a tie for the league championship with a victory last night over Lisbon, and they have an opportunity to win it outright tonight in Leetonia. Given the fact that this team has little to no depth, they've had to battle COVID not once, not twice, 3 times during the course of the season. The fact that they're going to be playing their 19th game this year, and the fact that Leetonia is 8-10, even though they're going to have a losing record this year, as far as I'm concerned, the job that Dan Dennis has done at Leetonia is unfreaking believable. Unbelievable what this program has been able to accomplish. And I will say they've also had starters, a lot of starters, out various numbers of games, Marco Ferry being the biggest of which. Marco hadn't been healthy all year long. I think he missed half of the year. I can only imagine what this team would have been like had Marco played the entire year. This is an 8-10 team. They'll No disrespect to my alma mater. They'll probably be 8-11 after tonight. That's a team I would not want to play in the tournaments. I'm going to tell you right now, it's a team I would not want to play in the tournaments. Well done, Coach Dennis. 8-10 with a very small amount of kids out for basketball, little to no depth, and you've had to battle COVID 3 times. Well done, Coach Dennis. Coach Dennis, formerly from West Branch, and speaking of which, let's bring in the head basketball coach of the West Branch Warriors, Michael Brown. Coach, how are you today, sir?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing wonderful. Year in and year out, I love your program. West Branch, you guys obviously have the same kind of water that those folks in Sebring have when Rick Brook was there, because it's a joy to watch West Branch play basketball. You're fundamentally sound. You guys play defense like nobody's business. It's just a great environment as well.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I think, it's a shame, obviously, that all the teams in the area and obviously the state and the nation have to deal with, the current pandemic and, the limited numbers, of fans that we can have in a game. We were talking, before the game over at Salem last week, and what a great environment, that would have been to play in front of, what probably would have been a standing room only crowd on a regular year.
No two ways about it, Coach. Look, the league that you guys are in with Salem and Minerva and Canton South, Carrollton, good night, is that a fun league. And it doesn't get nearly the amount of publicity that it deserves, because you guys, simply put, you play a different brand of basketball. It's physical. It's just tough as nails type of basketball.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I graduated from Louisville, and the league was formerly the NBC, now the EBC. And when I played at Louisville, obviously all the teams that are currently in the league, a lot of coaches that were coaching then are still coaching now. and just really well-coached teams. You're going to get teams that are smart with high basketball IQs because the coaches in this league really require that, of their players. So it is a grind, and it's a great test, night in and night out for our guys and obviously for other teams as well.
I love the fact that you guys, with COVID in mind, you've had to do some scrambling. You've been able to get most of your league games in. You step up in competition in terms of enrollment size. You're going to go play a D1 team tonight as you go to Fitch to take on Austintown Fitch. That's a nice game to prepare yourself for the upcoming tournament.
Yeah, there's no doubt. The combination of having to play, a higher level school with the schedule that they play, on a regular basis. You look at some of the teams that they play year in and year out. Fitch used to be in the Federal League, so they're used to playing, that high level competition. But to have to go on the road against a team and a player that they have that, is over 1,000-point scorer, had 30 points last night in the game that I watched against Talmadge. We're going to be up against it, no doubt. But it's good for us. It's a good tune-up. I feel like we're really playing with a lot of confidence right now, which helps. But it's going to show us and probably expose some weaknesses that maybe we need to work on, going into the tournament next week.
Michael Brown, the head basketball coach of the West Branch Warriors, joining me on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning hotline. And you bring up Austintown Fitch. Todd Simons is unbelievable. Dropped 30 in the 60-52 loss to Talmadge last night. It's no secret he's the ball-dominant player for the Fitch Falcons. And when you get to the high school tournaments, you get an opportunity to see some teams that have that ball-dominant type of player. And it gives you an opportunity to go a few different ways. There's some coaches that sit back and say, you know what, we'll let this kid get his and we'll stop his supporting cast. And other coaches will say, no. We're gonna stop the ball-dominant guy and force the role players to beat us. It works both ways, but it's an interesting decision to make.
Yeah, you make a really good point. From our standpoint, we try and watch as much film as possible and see what's most effective against, other teams. So like you said, Simons has basically seen it all, to this point. He's seen teams face guard him. He has seen teams where they're trying to basically cut everyone else off. Fitch is prepared for both, I'm sure. But it was good for us in the fact that we played Waterloo earlier this week, and they had that Shockley kid who I think is very capable of playing Division II college basketball. I mean, he can put it on the floor. He's got a long outside shot, kind of rangy, quicker than what we had expected. And similar with the Simons kid, he's got one of the best pull-up jumpers that I've seen. From 15 feet, he can really elevate and get that shot off. So it is going to be a challenge, but, like we mentioned before, a great opportunity for us to try and, take that challenge on because we take a lot of pride, in our defense. It hasn't, been a secret this year, and it's something that we're striving to do. We're on pace to break the school record, for the least amount of points given up in a regular season. So, we got to hold ourselves to that standard tonight.
Coach, I had Roy Sembach on from Newton Falls earlier in the program, and I'll ask you the same question that I asked Coach Sembach. In an era where the three-point shots, you got to get yours, you got to score X amount of points per game because, scoring and offense is cool. How tough is it for you as a coach to tell your kids, hey, listen, the offense is great, but here at West Branch, we play defense. This is what we're expecting, and if you can't play defense, you're really not going to play all that much for me. How do you get it through a kid's head that defense is the number one priority?
Well, that's a great question. We're really thankful. Last year was our first year, as a coaching staff here at West Branch, and we're thankful for last year's 7 seniors. I thought that we kind of established that culture of defense first, with what was really a pretty solid offensive team, with guys like Reese Leone and Nick Everett, who are now both playing college basketball. We knew that we could score last year, but our challenge, I thought, was defense, and we did a good job of that. So, I thought last year's group kind of set the tone, and these guys have kind of followed that lead with an understanding. So it kind of, once you establish that, I think it kind of rolls with itself. The kids come up through the program and understand that they're not going to get on the floor, unless they can play at both ends.
And you bring up the program itself, your youth program, your junior high program. One of the things that I absolutely love about West Branch, you have developed into a solid program where it is expected. If you go out for basketball at West Branch, you're going to be fundamentally skilled, and you're going to be taught the fundamentals through the early part of a young man's pre-high school career. By the time they get into junior high, they're going to have a good idea how to play defense and a better idea of how to continue to improve upon their fundamental skills. It's a great program that you have inherited at West Branch.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I've got to give, some credit to my high school basketball coach, who still, coaches at Louisville, Tom Siegfried, and he kind of showed me the way in terms of how important it is to have, a good youth program. And your program is truly only as good as your youth, So the parents that are involved at our lower levels have done a great job. And obviously preparing them for middle school basketball, because our middle school teams, had a great year this year. Our 8th grade team was undefeated, and our 7th grade team made it to the Final Four, in their conference tournament. So, obviously our parents must be doing a great job, in 4th, 5th, and 6th grade of preparing them, for middle school. And then that kind of, it becomes a domino effect from that point. You start winning in middle school basketball, then it becomes an expectation. So then, it's not as tough for us to, have to try and restore that confidence. We want our middle school basketball players to come into high school, with the confidence that they can win close games and they can win games in a variety of different ways.
Michael Brown, the head basketball coach at West Branch, joining me on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline. Your defense has propelled a 6th seed in the D2 tournament. I got to ask, before we start talking tournaments, and obviously it's you still have a game before your tournament begins on Tuesday night, but give me a sense of what your opinion is on the new format this year, with the 2 districts combining into one supersized district. What do you think of this new format, Coach?
Well, we kind of liked it. From a strategy standpoint, it was cool to kind of sit down with the coaching staff and kind of mock out what we had predicted, being the 6th seed. You got an idea, obviously, of where the top 4 seeds are going to go, and then Ursuline was right in front of us, so they were going to pick one. And then, obviously, we would have one of the other 3 brackets to choose from. So it gives you some flexibility there, determining on whether or not you want to play, right off the bat. We could have obviously taken a bye for that first game, but this year I thought it was important for us to kind of keep that rhythm and keep that routine, because, obviously with the COVID situation that we have, not every game is guaranteed. So to play that first game, and hopefully get a win and get things rolling, I think is really important for us, at this point in West Branch basketball.
So you'll open up tournament play on Tuesday nights against Hubbard, which is seeded number 20. And if you happen to win that ball game, you will play a familiar foe, another team in your conference in the Marlington Dukes. They're seated number 15. If you win, you would stay at West Branch High School, play 2 games in the sectional tournament, and then get ready for an interesting district semifinal.
Yeah, we're not good enough, to overlook any game. So I think for us to get to 16 wins this year, I think is in product of the fact that we have really truly bought into the fact that it's one game at a time. If you get looking ahead too far in advance, that's when you can catch yourself in a game that really maybe you shouldn't be in. So, for us in the tournament, that's kind of going to be our perspective, is that we take one possession at a time, one game at a time. And it sounds very cliche, but when you can get high school kids to understand the importance of that, you typically have, really good possessions in a solid 4 quarters.
Well, Division II, they couldn't have picked 2 better districts to combine, because the talent in this district is incredibly good. In your bracket alone, you've got the 2-seed Poland, your alma mater, the 9-seed Louisville, your familiar rival in Salem at number 7, West Branch at number 6, and you got a pretty damn good Cheney team hanging around there as the 3-seed. Look, I can make an argument for all the teams that I just mentioned to walk out of there as a district champion.
No, there's no doubt. We understand the challenge at hand, and we do. We know that, Cheney arguably could be a 1-seed. They haven't played a lot of games. We know how tough that of an opponent that they would be with their length and their athleticism. If we were happen to get to a district game, we would definitely be up against it. And in that other bracket, Louisville, I want to say they've got 12 or 13 wins on the season, and they're, ranked behind us currently in the seeding. But there's no reason that those guys, couldn't make a run at it like they did last year. It just goes to show how tough of a district it really is. At the tournament draw, I think they were a 500 team. You've got, 2 500 teams that are capable of winning the district final. You're looking for a grind of a tournament.
Coach, I've often said that the EBC is one of those conferences, unlike any other, in that the physical play in your conference, it's probably the most physical conference of all the conferences in our area. But I've also said that can be a detriment come tournament time, because if you get an officiating crew that calls a tight game, boy, that puts teams in your conference that is used to playing that really rough and tough physical basketball. It puts you up against it.
Right, yeah. It's ironic that you say that. I was watching the Buckeyes last night, and obviously the Big Ten really prides themselves on, defense and physicality. And you'll see that sometimes, for the Big Ten teams when they get in the tournament where, they're used to playing a certain type of way, and then it's based on whatever officiating crew that you might get, you have to be able to adjust. And that the same goes for any team, in our conference. If an officiating crew is calling it a little bit closer, then that's your job to have a basketball IQ and be smart enough to adjust on the fly and be flexible.
How tough is it to tell kids that are used to playing a certain standard of basketball to back off defensively?
It's not easy, if we're being honest with each other. It's easy for me to say, on here and like, hey, let's just adjust on the fly and make sure that we play, with a little bit of a cushion there. When you played, up in your face, face and high and hard defense for 22 games, it's not something that's easily adjustable. So, yeah, it is a challenge because there's a fine line there between playing smart and playing hard, and we try and find that balance.
I always love watching West Branch basketball just to see the physicality on defense. And it's not for the faint of heart. People will sit back and say, oh, how come you're not calling fouls? Well, you're not fouling. You're just playing good, hard-nosed basketball, which we don't normally see from the defensive standpoint. I love this caliber of defense.
Well, one thing about West Branch kids, when I came over here, they're a tough breed. The families here are tough, the kids are tough, and as a coaching staff, we have to take advantage of that. We have a picture that's in our locker room from, ironically, the Fitch game last year, which was our home opener, and there was about 4 guys of the 5 guys after a loose ball. It looked like it almost looked like a football, a fumble, where there were 4 guys that were diving on a loose ball. And that's something that we really pride ourselves on, is that 50-50 ball. Those little plays, especially in close games, in a tournament game, can make the difference between, you winning by 2 or losing by 2.
Coach, take me to one of West Branch practices. Do you guys honestly practice that on a daily basis, where you have a drill that kids are going after a loose ball?
We don't do loose ball drills. We just expect them, for example, if we're going, 5-on-5 up and down, and there's a loose ball, the standard's been set. You kind of stand out in our practice if you don't dive on it. It's rare, because if you're a kid that's not diving on that loose ball, there's already 3 or 4 guys that are on it. And I can say honestly that, I'm confident that most of the time we're gonna get that 50-50 ball, because it's basically engraved, into these guys.
And there's 2 things I love about basketball: floor burns on kids from diving after loose balls, and kids that are willing to go into the lane or absorb a charge, especially from a freight train coming down the floor. Those kids, they hold a special place in my heart.
Yep, and that all stems back to the defensive effort and the unselfishness, that our kids play with. If your star player is willing to take a charge, if your star player is willing to dive on the floor for a 50-50 ball, then why can't you hold everybody in the program accountable? So that's something over the last 2 years, our best players have done those things. They've done the little things, which then makes our job as a coaching staff a lot easier. We can hold guys 1 through 15 accountable then, when our star player or our, most talented offensive player is doing those things.
Is that the backbone of building a program? And what I mean by program is a basketball program that's going to sustain itself when that when your kids start playing basketball in kindergarten, 1st or 2nd grade, and they begin their fundamentals, that year in, year out, everything with this program is going to go like clockwork. Is the backbone of that the ability to say, hey, we're diving for this loose ball because we are part of this basketball program. We're going to take the offensive foul because that is what our program is about.
Yeah, well, on a normal year like last year, a lot of the kids, at the elementaries and the middle school, they start showing up to games, kids that are eventually going to play for us, and they want to be like the high school kids. When I was a middle school player, I wanted to be like guys like Luke Conley, or Jason Farkas, guys at Louisville that were, really good basketball players, and it's no different here. We have kids that want to grow up and be like Reese Leon, guys that want to be like Jackson Hendershot, guys that want to be like Jed Smith. Those kind of players, impact our youth a lot more than even probably they know. So the way that they treat their teammates, the way that they treat referees, the way that they treat opponents, that doesn't go unnoticed, by the parents, and it definitely doesn't go unnoticed, by the kids in the future of West Branch basketball.
Last year, when I was coaching the Leetonia 7th graders, I made it a point to tell the kids, when you get the basketball from the official, if you're at the free throw line and the referee hands you the basketball before you shoot free throws, you make it a point to say, "Thank you, sir."
Yep. And that stuff goes a long way, when you're talking about, obviously basketball only lasts so long, and when you can learn those things via basketball, it's only going to make, your life easier as a kid. You're going to have a better perspective, when you get out in the real world of how you treat other people, how you work with other people, how you fight through adversity. There's just so many things, as a coach that I believe in, that sports are just such a great gift for everybody, moving forward. So we try and use the old motto that my dad had was, use basketball, don't let basketball use you. And I think that we've done a good job of that, thus far in these past 2 years. And I hope that our kids, someday can look back and take some things that will help them in their life in the future.
Coach, you're a Louisville graduate, as you've mentioned a couple of times during this interview. How disappointing was it for you to have Louisville in the top half of this bracket?
I don't know that it was necessarily, disappointing. We root for Louisville, every game unless they were to play us. So, it's really not that difficult of a scenario. I'm thankful for, all the experience that I have had as a coach at Louisville, and obviously wish them nothing but the best. And the same goes, vice versa. They want to see us do well and have success. But ultimately, it's about competing, and trying to survive and advance.
Well, in a perfect world, I know March the 6th, it would be more than appropriate for you to be hosting Louisville with a district championship on the line.
Yeah, I mean, that would, in a normal year, I'd have to think that would be a pretty good crowd on hand, if we got to that situation regardless. But like we talked about earlier, our mentality is one game at a time, and we can only control what's in front of us. And, what's in front of us right now is Austintown Fitch tonight. So we just try and build blocks from there, take one game at a time, and to be quite honest with you, be thankful that we're playing, one game at a time, because you don't know when that last game might be. Especially with the COVID situation.
Well, it's been a fun year for you guys. I've watched a West Branch from afar. Very impressed with what I've seen. Congratulations on this season to this point. Best of luck against Fitch tonight and into the tournament next week, Coach.
Hey, I appreciate you having me on, Anthony.
Take care. Michael Brown, the head basketball coach of the West Branch Warriors. Man, it's going to be a tough out. They're going to be a tough out in this tournament. I'm going to tell you right now, they're going to be a tough out. All right, 330-886-0813. We'll take a timeout, be back with more. Stick around.
Hello, I'm Greg Burbick with G. Burbick Farms. For the last 100 years, my family has farmed in Columbiana and Mahoning counties. I began raising cattle in 1996 with the goal of providing a better product for you and your family on the dinner table. Our grass-fed and grain-supplemented Black Angus beef are raised with no hormones, steroids, or antibiotics. We're known for our hometown-friendly service and incredible tasting products. We're locally owned and have customers across the tri-state area. Our products go from our farm to your family. Stop by our farm on New Buffalo Road or visit us on the web at gburbickfarms.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. G. Burbick Farms, it just tastes better.
Hi, this is Tommy Clem, owner of WRS Insurance Solutions.
WRS Insurance Solutions is a local independent agency that specializes in life, Medicare, long-term care, and disability products. Call us at 330-953-3722 or visit us at wrsinsurancesolutions.com to learn more.
Good luck to all the student athletes in the Valley.
Right now is a great time to get more for your trade-in at Tri-State Ford and drive home in a new or pre-owned vehicle. Choose from our great selection of new Ford models or pre-owned vehicles. Plus, get the Tri-State Ford Advantage, including a 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty and more. At Tri-State Ford, we'll pay you top dollar for your trade, but you don't have to purchase one of ours to sell us yours.
Customer focus, community driven. Tri-State Ford East Liverpool or visit tristateford.net.
Welcome back to a Friday edition of Running Point, presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. Many, many thanks to Michael Brown from West Branch calling in on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline. Okay, girls basketball, their sectional title games are coming up tomorrow afternoon, beginning at 1 o'clock. Sectional title games for D1, D2, D2, D3, and D4. D1 already had their sectional title games, except for Harding. They're playing theirs on Saturday. Canfield knocked off Massillon Perry in an upset last night, 51-36. Canfield moves in to the district semifinals. Stowe defeated Howland last night, 61-31. So Canfield is in the D1 district semifinals. All right, here are the D4 sectional title games to be played tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. In the District 1 brackets of D4, top seed McDonald has number 24 Chalker. Springfield is home to Matthews. The Tigers are number 8. Matthews Mustangs seeded number 18. Bristol is going to be home to Valley Christian. Bristol is the 5 seed. Valley Christian is the 9 seed. And finally, Newton Falls is the 3 seed. They will host the number 12 seed Lowville Rockets. That is in the Northeast District 1 of the Division 4 tournaments. In Northeast 2 District, Division 4, Western Reserve is the 2 seed. They will be hosting number 21 Ashtabula St. John. Maplewood is the 7 seed. They will be hosting number 13 Southern. East Canton is the 4 seed. The Wizards will be hosting number 10 Leetonia. And Jackson Milton, the Blue Jays, seated at number 6. They will be hosting number 15 Wyndham. That's the D4 Northeast 1 and Northeast 2 sectional title games tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. D3 Northeast 1 District, South Range will be hosting Mineral Ridge. South Range is the top seed. They will be hosting number 22 Mineral Ridge tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. In the other top brackets, Berkshire is the 13 seed. They will be hosting number 15 East Palestine. I'm just going to call it right now. Palestine is going to win this game. East Palestine is playing some really, really good basketball. Congratulations to the Lady Bulldogs. They won an EOAC title by their lonesome last night with a big victory over Columbiana. Palestine will be going to Burton to take on Burton Berkshire tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock, and I think Palestine will win that game. I really do. Tomorrow afternoon, Crestview will be hosting LeBray. This is a rematch of a game that was played 1 week ago. 1 week ago tomorrow, Crestview beat LeBray in overtime in Crestview. They play each other again. The Rebels are seeded number 6. The Vikings are seeded number 8. The other semifinal, or I should say sectional title game, United Girls, seeded number 10. They will go to Brookfield to take on the number 3 Lady Warriors from Brookfield. That's in Northeast 1. In the Northeast 2 sectional title games, number 20 Conneaut will visit number 2 Garrettsville Garfield. Number 9, Rootstown, will be hosting number 14, Grand Valley. Number 11, Liberty, will be traveling to number 5, Ursuline. And finally, number 12, Columbiana, will take a trip up north to number 4, Champion. All of those games will begin at 1 o'clock. And then we go to Division 2. The Northeast 1 district, top seed Perry, will host number 18, Lakeview. Number 7, Canton South, will host number 12, Struthers. Number 4, Salem, will welcome in number 13, Streetsboro. And finally, number 6, Kenston, will play host to number 10, Notre Dame Cathedral Latin. That's the Division 2 District 1 sectional title games. Finally, Northeast District 2, here's your title games, sectional title games. Tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock, Poland will host Jefferson area. This will be the third meeting between the two teams. Poland is the 2 seed. Jefferson is the 14 seed. Cardinal Mooney will be hosting West Geauga. West Geauga knocked off Southeast on Wednesday night, 54-47. West Geauga is the 11 seed. They will travel to Cardinal Mooney High School to take on number 9 Cardinal Mooney. That's going to be a great game. Cardinal Mooney's going to have their hands full. That is going to be a fantastic, fantastic game. Marlington is the 3 seed. They will be hosting number 17 Girard. And finally, West Branch will be hosting Alliance. West Branch is the 5 seed, Alliance number 26. These two teams, no strangers to each other. They're both in the Eastern Buckeye Conference. So those games will take place at 1 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. We made mention, we're now in the district semifinals. In Division 1, Northeast, the first bracket. The only game that has not been played to this point that will be played Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock, number 8, Warren Harding, will be hosting number 12, Walsh Jesuit. Walsh Jesuit defeated East Lake North 37-26. So Harding will host Walsh Jesuit. If Harding wins that game, then they will be playing in a district semifinal game at Canton McKinley. So they'll play that game at the Canton Fieldhouse. If Harding loses, then obviously we are done with basketball for Warren Harding. The other bottom half of the district, we made mention, Canfield was an upset winner in Massillon as they beat Massillon Perry 51-36, and they will play Stowe Monroe Falls. Stowe Monroe Falls is the 2 seed. They will be hosting the Canfield Cardinals. This game will be played on Tuesday night, February the 23rd. So that's going to be on Tuesday, February the 23rd, a 7 o'clock start. If Harding defeats Walsh Jesuit on Saturday afternoon, they would travel to Canton McKinley to play the Canton McKinley Bulldogs at the Canton Fieldhouse on Tuesday, February the 23rd at 7 o'clock. And by the way, Tuesday, D2, D3, and D4 boys tournaments will get underway. So we'll see what happens there. But in D1, we do have one team going to the district semifinals, and hopefully, best of luck to the Harding Raiders, hopefully we will get 2 teams from the Mahoning Valley into the district semifinals. I can tell you right now, we have an unbelievably good record, our area, against out-of-town opponents in the sectional tournament. We are playing some really, really good basketball to this point. All right, we'll take a timeout. 330-886-0813, the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline open for business. We'll take a timeout, be back with more. It is a Friday edition of Running Points on ysnlive.com.
Hello, I'm Greg Burbick with G. Burbick Farms. For the last 100 years, my family has farmed in the Columbiana and Mahoning counties. I began raising cattle in 1996 with the goal of providing a better product for you and your family on the dinner table. Our grass-fed and grain-supplemented Black Angus beef are raised with no hormones, steroids, or antibiotics. We're known for our hometown-friendly service and incredible tasting products. We're locally owned and have customers across the tri-state area. Our products go from our farm to your family. Stop by our farm on New Buffalo Road or visit us on the web at gburbickfarms.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. G. Burbick Farms, it just tastes better.
Hi, this is Tommy Clem, owner of WRS Insurance Solutions.
WRS Insurance Solutions is a local, independent agency that specializes in life, Medicare, long-term care, and disability products. Call us at 330-953-3722 or visit us at wrsinsurancesolutions.com to learn more.
Good luck to all the student athletes in the Valley.
Right now is a great time to get more for your trade-in at Tri-State Ford and drive home in a new or pre-owned vehicle. Choose from our great selection of new Ford models or pre-owned vehicles. Plus, get the Tri-State Ford Advantage, including a 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty and more. At Tri-State Ford, we'll pay you top dollar for your trade, but you don't have to purchase one of ours to sell us yours.
Customer focused, community driven. Tri-State Ford East Liverpool or visit tristateford.net.
When looking for home design inspiration, don't just be inspired, be Baird inspired. Whether new or remodeling, Baird Brothers has the latest trends like shiplap to refresh your home. Go from inspiration to installation with our wide selection of in-stock American hardwoods. From the rustic charm of antique oak to the warmth of traditional cherry, Baird Brothers has what you need to make your home inspiring. Baird Brothers, our family's heritage, your family's home.
Welcome back to a Friday edition of Running Point, 330-886-0813. We go to the phone lines. The birthday boy checking in. Rich, what's going on, my brother?
Well, thank you very much, young man. Thank you.
Yeah, happy. I don't even want to say your age unless you want me to.
It doesn't matter. It's 68, brother.
Well, happy birthday to you, man.
Yeah, but the problem lies here, and that is that the body is 68, but the brain is still 25. And that's a really bad mix.
Hey, listen, this body's 56, will be 57 this summer, and I'm going to guarantee you the mind is still 18. So.
Yeah, that's a good mix for guys, but if you have a female mate, it's not a good mix.
No, definitely not. Yeah, definitely not.
Well, I'm two divorces. I think I got you beat on that one, so I'm testimony on that one.
Yeah, you got one more than I do, brother.
It's not an esteemed record.
No, definitely not.
Anyway, I'm grilling Nathan's hot dogs today with homemade chili sauce and diced onions, also in the grill.
Man, you're making me hungry, and I can't have that because I'm trying to be a good Catholic boy here.
Well, me too, but I guess I went left to center today.
Yeah, that's all right. You're not going to go to hell for eating a hot dog. I'll just
well,
say
I
that.
hope not. I got plenty more in front of that would put me there, but a hot dog is the least of my worries.
Yeah, amen to that, brother. What's on your mind?
I've been checking out high school basketball. Man, there was some pretty good stuff going on this week. This game between Newton Falls and who the hell did they play?
Yeah, they played Liberty last night.
Oh wow, what a matchup!
Yeah.
Talk about getting down in that final drive. My goodness.
Yeah, it was an unbelievable finish for Newton Falls last night, and the second time that that the Liberty Leopards have been beaten at the buzzer by Newton Falls.
Yeah, go figure, huh?
Yeah.
On a side note, when I had my sporting goods deal going on, I had a partner, and he was he coached every sport in youth ages, 4th, 5th, 6th grade, 7th grade, and then they went on to high school, et cetera, et cetera. Basketball especially, he loved it.
Yeah.
And he said, there's nothing like girls basketball. I'm like, what are you talking about? I was clueless,
Mm-hmm.
He said, I got news for you. You look at them when we're out at whatever the field was in Hubbard. They had a bunch of fields out to Harding Park, and they have tournaments. And the girls are out there, and they're screaming and having a good old time, and they're pumped full of energy.
Oh, yeah.
He said the guys have a lot to learn from this. They're just too cool for that.
Well, I mean, listen, I've had a couple of coaches on today that it's all about the defense, and it's all about the fundamentals, and it is possible to put together a solid program if your kids believe in the accountability of playing defense and holding each other accountable for a standard of play.
Well, the NBA has ruined basketball for the youth of today because everybody's going for half-court shots,
Yeah.
That's diluted. I don't care what anybody says. You can have this kind of basketball. And the teams that win are still the ones that have the big guys in the middle. Minus Seattle. They pulled some off because they got a bunch of guys who have hit laser beams from 90 feet. I get that, You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they've diluted it. There's no more fundamentals. It's, run and gun and, run a half court and let it rip. And they go in. I mean, that's amazing. I'm not taking it away from them guys. I couldn't even see that far.
Yeah, it's amazing how much of a range some kids have. But, you still play some solid defense. It's just the talent level is so good in the professional ranks. It's hard to play solid defense on a game-in, game-out basis until the postseason starts.
When I had that sporting goods adventure, Bobby Krasanchik was the head basketball coach in Girard.
Yes.
And then he went to Mentor.
Yep.
And I believe he's still there. I'm not sure.
He is still in Mentor, yes.
And that was a big-time 4-level school. They had talent out there, what.
Yep.
And I wandered up there a couple times, and we secured a couple of good sales. And I offered my proudness to him. I said, to see it, not that Girard was a bad gig, but from going from Girard to Mentor, that's a big step. That's almost like going to darn college. I mean, you're talking about recruiting. And anyway, I said, you know what? What's the key to all this? He goes, defense, defense, defense.
Yeah.
Not the three-point shot. And looking back, and when you go back into the days of the Michael Jordans and the bad guys from Detroit, man, those teams were stacked with defense.
Yep.
Yeah, they had some excellent offensive things going on, but you get in a paint with Michael Jordan, he's gonna elbow your face off. and Lambeer also. I mean, that was truly before basketball got politically correct. That was truly a great era of basketball.
No, absolutely. No two ways about it.
And it was defense, defense, defense. And like you said, if these kids could buy into that, and throw a bunch of excitement into it, then you got yourself one hell of a good team.
Sure do. There's no two ways about that.
All right, Rico, I got to tend to the garden here, so thanks for the calls, and I'll be in touch with you. You have a great weekend and be safe.
All right, brother. Always a pleasure. 330-886-0813. Big Rich celebrating 68th birthday. 68 trips around the sun. Holy crap. I thought 56 was tough. All right, 330-886-0813. We'll take a final timeout, and we'll run through what is on the network tonight. We can tell you right now, I'm still keeping an eye on what is going on out in Los Angeles with the Genesis Invitational. Jason Kokrak is having himself a heck of a good round. He is 4 under for the day, 8 under for the tournament. He is currently sitting on the 15th hole. He played the back 9 first, so He's actually playing the front nine right now. He will have a gimme shot for par, and then he'll be 8 under for the tournament. Currently 4 shots off the lead, but it looks like Kokrak is going to be among the leaders, top of the leaderboard, after 2 rounds at the Genesis Invitational from the Riviera Country Club in Pacific Palisades, California. Barring a complete disaster, Kokrak is going to be very close to the top of the leaderboard when we complete the second round. So that was my off the wall pick for this weekend. Hopefully he will continue to play some really, really solid golf. All right, we're going to take a timeout. On the other side, we'll let everyone know where the network is tonight. I can tell you, Mike Ackelson and the boys are going to be at headquarters here in East Palestine as WRS Wealth Advisors welcome in the terrific program Open Look. Mike Ackelson and the boys will be in studio. Open Look, courtesy of WRS Wealth Advisors. That's coming up tonight at 7 o'clock from headquarters here in East Palestine. We'll take a timeout and be back with more. It is a Friday edition of Running Points on ysnlive.com.
Planning a project around your home or rental property? Trust the electrical service to the local experts with 62 years of serving the Mahoning Valley. Joe Dickey Electric is your local go-to source for responsive, reliable residential electrical work. From everyday maintenance and repairs to new installations, electrical upgrades, and safety inspections, no job is too big or too small. Call Joe Dickey Electric today, 800-549-3976, or visit DickeyElectric.com. That's DickeyElectric.com.
No matter what the weather, be prepared with a reliable, efficient Rude gas furnace or air conditioner from MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning. Call your energy efficient expert MP Vivo today for a free estimate.
Here at MP Vivo, we rely on Rude, and so should you.
Myers Family Insurance knows the importance of a great team.
Our team continues to grow to help you with your Medicare and retirement needs.
The annual election period is October 15th through December 7th. Now's the time to make sure your plan continues to meet your needs for the upcoming year.
Call today.
High-res Futurecast shows steady snow for the next few hours.
Still just downright cold.
It is bitter out there.
Several strong bands of lake effect snow.
Wind is kind of the big story today as well.
So if you need a more detailed winter forecast on WFMJ.com and the Storm Tracker 21 app.
I went to Greenwood Chevrolet because
I was really interested in looking at the tracks.
Because I wanted my dream truck.
Because I've been going there for 20 years.
I'm really happy that I went
to Greenwood Chevrolet.
Because they really went
the extra mile for me.
Now we're going the extra mile for you, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
WRS Wealth Advisors is the area's premier wealth and retirement specialist. With our combined 70 years experience and comprehensive wealth strategy, we assist our clients attain their goals. Call 330-965-0370 to learn more about our individual and corporate financial planning services, or visit WRSWealthAdvisors.com. Good luck, athletes.
Hi everyone, this is DJ Yoakley with Your Sports Network. We appreciate your support of YSN and welcome you to the YSN family. Our broadcast streams are brought to you live at no cost to you by sponsors that are local to this community. Without the vision and generosity of our sponsors and partners, we would not be able to bring this game to you today. So please support the great businesses and leaders that are making this game possible. And if you're a business in need of great advertising and sponsorship opportunities, feel free to head over to our site for more information on the right fit for you. We are local, we are loyal, and we are live. We are YSN.
Ah, the details. Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods is one fine ride. Perfect cornering, superb handling, sporty and stylish, power to spare, plus awesome mileage. Yeah, jaw-droppingly beautiful lines and well appointed with luxurious trim. Put more oomph in your life and start beholding the molding. Find your home's fine hardwood at BairdBrothers.com.
For heating, cooling, and indoor air quality, the Mahoning Valley trusts MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning, offering worry-free repair, service, and installation. Call MP Vivo today for a free estimate.
MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning. We're your energy-efficient experts.
News doesn't stop after the sun goes down. Sometimes you just have to hustle to get it. At 21 News, no matter how far it is, no matter what it takes to get there, we're working to bring you the best stories and the freshest content at 11 p.m. with the context and clarity that makes it worth staying up for, no matter what time it is. 21 News at 11 with me, Aaron Simonek, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 11, news that's worth your time.
Welcome back to a Friday edition of Running Point, courtesy of Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. All right, let's run through the games that we have on the network. This evening at 6:45, McDonald will take a trip to the Field House in Struthers as they take on the Struthers Wildcats. That's at 6:45. These games start at 7 o'clock tonight or somewhere thereabouts. West Branch will be at Austintown Fitch. Champion is at Crestview. Wellsville at East Palestine. Poland will take a trip to Girard. Lakeview is at Hubbard. Jackson Milton will travel to Lisbon. Sebring is at Lowville. Salem at United. Boardman will take a trip to Ursuline. And Springfield is at Waterloo. And, of course, you can watch those games at no charge. Go to ysnlive.com. Click on your favorite school. If you are not looking to watch a game, but to look at one of our better programs, beginning at 7 o'clock tonight, Open Look. Mike Ackelson and the boys here in headquarters in East Palestine, they'll keep you updated. All of the games on the network tonight, Mike Ackelson and the fellas will begin Open Look tonight at 7 o'clock, and that show is brought to you in part by WRS Wealth Advisors. One baseball game. Youngstown State begins their baseball season tonight in Troy, Alabama. DJ is down there, and he is going to have the story from Troy, Alabama. Youngstown State opening up their 2021 college baseball season as they take on Troy. That game is supposed to start at 7 o'clock. We'll have it on the network tonight as well. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Many, many thanks to Coach Roy Sembach from Newton Falls, Coach Michael Brown from West Branch for calling in on the program today. Have a great weekend. We'll do it again Monday, noon to 3, Monday edition of Running Point on YSN Live.